injuries too that choke you out.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
What's happening, family? This is another episode of the Open Field Podcast. Sorry I don't have my camera on at the moment. But we're gonna get this thing going. Sorry for being late, guys. Man, there's so much to talk about. Free agency has been moving a little bit. Trade's been going. Aaron Rodgers finally has a job. Man, I think we should listen, man. Lot going on. I kind of want to start with Brock Purdy's contract. We didn't get to talk about it last week. But hey man, how we feeling about Brock Purdy's contract? Is it fair? Like what's the word? Brandon, you go first.
Oh, I feel like the contract isn't that bad if you look at it. Like it still allows him to make some moves. Honestly, he ain't the highest paid, which would be insane if he was. But what is he like? The 12th highest paid, 10th around that range. That's fine because that's around where he's at as a quarterback wise. He's around that 12 range, 12, 13 range. So that's fine. They really got to build this team up because I feel as the years go on, they've been in the Super Bowl like the past they a couple of times like the past 5 or 6 years. So I feel like their window is closing, man. They gotta acquire more talent because they lost a lot of guys, Ufunga and Travarius Ward and all those guys. They really gotta find some pieces to because their Super Bowl window is closing. So I feel like as a team friendly deal, honestly, it's not that bad if you look at the numbers.
So we like so we like the deal.
I mean, I don't. I wouldn't say that I like it. No,
I don't hate it though.
but
I don't hate it.
yeah. I think it's
I don't
warranted. You asked if it's warranted. It's definitely warranted.
Yeah.
I mean, guys have gotten
a little overpaid.
Not more for
it's
less,
the quarterback market. That's how it is now. So
I don't think he's overpaid. I think more so. I think it's just we're in a time where like, man, you don't. It's so much bad out here that you gotta. If you got something that's solid, man, you got to go with it. And you can't afford to lose it and then go somewhere else and win. So I think, I ain't gonna lie, man. We've had these conversations with the OGs about how weak they think our quarterbacks are compared to their quarterbacks. And I ain't gonna lie to you, it's really top heavy. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I say this all the time. After the top five quarterbacks, dog, a lot of those guys are interchangeable. You have your favorites like the Baker Mayfield, who I think like have that extra moxie to where I believe Baker has a mentality. If he's in a Super Bowl game, Bucks versus the Chiefs, he's not going to pussy around Patrick Mahomes and say, "Dog, I can't beat this guy." No, like there are certain guys who don't give a fuck and can sling the rock and are just heartless guys who go, "You know what, dog? I can put them on a winning team and they can win, a la Baker." But there are a lot of guys who just exist. Jared Goff just exists. As of right now, Jordan Love just exists. Um, guys like Tua, guys like even Purdy right now, like there are a lot of guys who are not proven. And when I say proven, I mean like, can they win it all? Like it was a time where we had to really battle it out. Tom Brady, Drew Brees, like these Phillip Rivers, like Brandon. No, Phillip was one of them guys that Phillip wasn't scared of nobody, dog.
Yeah, but he folded more than anyone else. Not more than anyone else.
But Phillip folding wasn't lack of. Like Phillip didn't fold because he was scared. Phillip might fold just because he was outplayed.
I ain't gonna lie. Aaron Rodgers folded more than anybody. We don't get that boy.
Absolutely.
We don't give him enough slander because he had the teams. Phillip had the teams too, but he had to run through. He had to run through Brady
and
Payton.
Aaron had some teams,
but Aaron Rodgers outside of Russell, there wasn't really nobody else like that. I mean, you got blew out by Kaepernick.
Russell Wilson?
Yeah. Russell's a guy. Russell's a guy he had to run into a few times.
Yeah, running the
blew
back.
up by, huh?
Yeah, but A-Rod, what he's saying is this. A-Rod should have been the Tom Brady of the NFC. Like it should have been you had to run through him. But for him to be the best quarterback in the NFC, but literally would fall short a lot of times.
In the league.
Yeah.
At one point.
I think that's what Brandon's saying, because other than Breeze but again, Aaron Rodgers was around so long that he went through different eras where like it was a gap with Aaron Rodgers. That 2009 to 2015 gap should have been all Aaron Rodgers, honestly.
Yeah.
But no, Drew Brees 10-11 Saints team wasn't ass though. Like they was. Oh, you said 9 to 12.
I said 9 to like 15.
9 to 15.
Now, mind you, I'm not saying he got to go every year. What I'm saying is that if it was a 6-year span where Aaron Rodgers should have been in the Super Bowl at least 3 times.
At least.
I think there's a couple games. I think there's a couple games where I don't really care for how he played, like in the sense of I don't think he choked. Like the Atlanta game, I think that they just got outmatched. But I think games like the Niners game in in Lambeau when they put up like no points. That game he choked. But I think
that Giants game he wasn't. I mean,
the Giants
guys were dropping the ball, and that defense was atrocious. But he could have won that game. He could have pulled it out, and he just didn't. He just didn't. There were multiple guys he got beat by: Kaepernick, Eli. The Giants. Like he got beat by just different row of guys. It wasn't the same guy every time. He got beat down. Drew Brees didn't really go to the Super Bowl that much. He went one time. That's it.
Even this much. Do me a favor, Brandon. Put your camera up a little bit just so we can get your whole face for clips.
Oh my bad.
Even this much, dog. If you watch the actual playoff run he had where Brady went to the Bucs, dog, Brady tried to get that boy the game at least 4 times.
Threw 2 picks, dude.
He didn't want it. Aaron Rodgers didn't want it.
Wouldn't throw the ball down.
It was one time when he could have ran it in.
Yeah.
He could have ran it in. He had so much space, and he just didn't want it, dog. He did not want it. It's like he didn't want to go against Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. If he wins against Brady, he goes to the Super Bowl, and they probably beat that team because that Patrick Mahomes team was actually very weak. He didn't. Well, that's what I mean by Phillip Rivers is that there are certain guys who, like, again, when I look at Baker Mama and Phillip, if you watch Phillip wanted to smoke. Phillip was never going to go into a game, like, no offense. There have been games where Josh Allen, Lamar, and the last couple years have gone against Patrick Mahomes in a pussyfooted, hoping that somebody else wins the game but them.
We're saying Phillip never pussyfooted. Never once did he pussyfoot in the playoffs.
Some teams against them Patriots, old Patriots games in the playoffs.
The truth, I'm gonna tell you the truth of the matter is that I'm gonna tell you the truth of the matter is that this. If you really watch Phillip Rivers' game and them Chargers, and tell me if I'm wrong, Brandon, them Charger teams was soft as shit. When I say soft, I mean when you're going against Pittsburgh, that was about on the defensive line. There was at least 5 to 7 niggas on the defensive line in Pittsburgh that were bullying you. Like there were no there other than like let's really name some players. I give you Sean.
They got out coached honestly because wasn't their coach North Turner?
Yeah, North Turner.
He was a joke.
I give you Sean Marion. I'll give you Sean Marion. I'll give you Gamardi. But guys like Quentin Jammer, their linebacker core, their D linemen, like you can't name them like that because these guys were like, no, Chargers were like they were just a softer team. With like you were going against those Patriot teams were like, especially growing up, it was like watching North Korea going to battle. Everything was like they were like generals, dog.
Defenses because
they were like generals.
If you go against a top defense. Like, I think especially when he tore his ACL that year, he actually played pretty good considering he had a torn ACL against that defense. Like, that's a game that I'll give him credit, even though he lost. What's up, Marley? But I just think Aaron, the difference between Phillip and Aaron, though, is Aaron has had legit games in the playoffs, though. It's just the percentage of good games versus choke is just horrible. But he's had an Arizona game and when was that? 2010 or 11? I think it was the year the Saints won the Super Bowl.
But do you feel like this though, Mike? Do you feel like when we put in so much onus on Aaron Rodgers because guys your age and even older will say Aaron Rodgers is the top 7 quarterback all time. So the only reason we give you that much flack is because if you're top 7, then why were you so bad?
But he still won though. Because when you look at
he won one, Mike. For who? Aaron Rodgers have at least 3 Super Bowls, guys. Come on.
Early.
He played for 20 seasons.
You don't even have to win. Just get there.
Peyton Manning won 2. Peyton Manning won 2.
He went to 4, Mike. He went to 4, Mike.
Okay, yeah. Exactly. He went to 4.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm telling you, Mike. It ain't about him not like that. That's what you think I'm saying. It ain't about him losing them, Mike. It's about the fact that he couldn't even get there. If he was 1-4, 1-3, I'd be like, you got there.
Like if he was 1-3 though, like would y'all still depending on how he played?
Absolutely, dude. I look at it like this. It's very hard, extremely hard to get to the Super Bowl. But if you're a top guy, if you're considered a top guy, and you play for 20 freaking years, bro, you got to give me more than 1 Super Bowl appearance, man. I don't care. You got to give me one. Especially if you have stability at head coach, you got stability on your offensive line, you got weapons. No, I don't want to hear that. You got
Yeah,
weapons.
ain't no
You got a
excuse.
defense.
It's some guys who get pigeonholed,
Dude,
and then Aaron Rodgers is one of them guys who could
wait.
call the shots at Green Bay. It was a time period where it was like whoever, I don't give a damn who, if he told the coach, hey, your mama can't come to the games no more, they was like, all right, Aaron Rodgers, what else you want? Like, it was a point to where he could do whatever he want, he could say whatever he want, and they was gonna go for it. Like, you know how many guys don't have that much freedom to say, hey, go get Randall Cobb again, even though he washed. Hey, go get this guy. Hey, go get Rich.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
yeah, he held them hostage and still didn't win.
I do agree, but I do feel like they could have put
thing with
more
Peyton,
around
I've
him.
seen Peyton
Like,
win the
Doc,
Super Bowl.
what more did you
Yeah,
want?
what more?
Later on in his career, he had a top 10 defense damn near every year,
in his
dude.
later years with them, I feel like they could have added a little bit more pieces around him.
But here's the thing, Doc. Here's the thing, Doc. When you said that, right, Doc? When you said it, right? Add what around you when you handicapped them
Y'all are
for a
being
couple
so
seasons
fucking nasty.
financially.
This is
You
getting-
handicapped them for a couple seasons financially
that's
to a point to
all.
where what are they gonna put around you? You ate up all the money. You eating up all the money. How you gonna pay guys? You had a feud. The reason why Greg Jennings left the fucking Packers is because he was feuding with Aaron Rodgers. Like, dog, you wasn't you. Yeah, as much as we talk about Brett Favre, people like playing with Brett Favre. Okay, what you say? I know he a thief and this and that, but Packers players like playing with Brett Favre. Like, no one has ever came out and talked shit about Brett Favre the way they have about Aaron Rodgers.
No, we're not doing that. That's not a good take. I'm sorry, but that's not a good take. And I'll explain.
So then name him. Name him, Mike.
I'll explain why. But I want to say something about Peyton. And I'm not saying Peyton was worse in the playoffs than Aaron because he has better moments.
No, that's a lie if you said that.
No, it is. But I've seen Peyton Manning win Super Bowls playing bad in the playoffs, getting carried, where he's had more less touchdowns than interceptions.
What games are you talking about?
Well, maybe not win the Super Bowl, but I'm saying I've seen him stretches in the playoffs play like that though. Like, okay, let me pull up the playoffs because I swear I looked at them and I was genuinely confused. And I don't think he ran into Peyton or he ran into the Pats. He ran into really good defenses. Do not get me wrong. I'm not trying to slander it. But 2006 they won. Yeah, he had 3 touchdowns to 7 picks. He did throw for 1,000 though in the playoffs. So I mean,
But Mike, Brandon will tell you, and he's one of the bigger Peyton Manning fans, that Peyton is he's a playoff
MVP that year.
He's a playoff dropper. But the thing about it is, Mike, is that
it's the Bears.
He can still say Peyton has 2 Super Bowls.
No, understood that. I understand that. But okay, the thing about Brett that I wanted to say, I'm not disputing the fact that guys wanted to play for him, but he did act, I would say, way worse than Aaron at the end of his career. I mean, yeah, Aaron ruined the Jets. No, Aaron ruined the Jets. Don't get me wrong, but
he ruined the Packers too.
Yeah, he ruined
this is the end of his career.
Brett was worse. Brett was saying that he was going to retire, come back, retire for 4 straight years.
But here's the thing, though, Mike. Brett was saying he's going to retire.
He was some perfect guy, and also,
and in the beginning of training camp, he's there. And he's at OTAs. He's at everything. Don't compare Brett to him because you can say what you want to say about Brett, but Brett worked his ass off.
He missed out on OTAs when he was retiring. He didn't go to training camp. What do you mean? And also, wait. Go ahead. Brett purposely played injured when he shouldn't have to get that record. And obviously, he's a tough guy, and you want him in there because he's a playmaker. Even when he's hurt, you want a guy in there. But I'm just saying, there's probably some games that he shouldn't have played. And my last point to that is, Brett Favre has moments in the playoffs where he was the one to get you over the hump. Of course.
Mike, what is it a criticism? Hold on. What is it a criticism?
Don't interrupt.
What is it a criticism, though? But here's my thing. No, what is it a criticism for somebody to somebody?
You're not going to do that. No. No. Let me talk.
What is it a criticism to want to play through injury?
Early, you just interrupted my point. I'm trying to land, and you're interrupting my point.
Go ahead, Mike.
The point is that. See, now I'm off guard. Now I forgot that shit. But
you were talking about how Brett Favre he played through injury. Yeah.
So Brett got over the hump, yes, but there was many of years before he did where he choked his ass off. All those years leading up to when they won in 93 and 94, he choked his ass off. And he also got multiple 10 under 15-point performances from his defenses when he won. So let's not sit here and rewrite his
Here's
game.
what we getting away from the point, though.
The perfect quarterback in the playoffs.
Here's what we get away from the point. Ho. See what you're doing. I'm not saying Brett Favre is perfect because here's the thing. Here's what we get away from the point, and it's what you're doing, Mike. At the end of the day, no one considers Brett Favre a top 5 to 6 quarterback. That's what I'm saying.
No, they don't. They consider top 10, but not top 5.
Well,
no, they do not.
No one has ever in your life. You never heard anybody say top 5, top 6. People will fight on the hill of Aaron Rodgers being top 5. They'll give up on Johnny Unitas. They'll pass on guys who've won to say he's the best. He one of the best.
No, I feel you, but I think that's BS. I think Brett Favre's better than Unitas. I think Brett Favre is. I think he's 7 to 10 for me. I don't know if I'd put him 7. I think I'd have him 8. But I think I'm very confident of him on that list, and I think his ability and his skill set is higher than 8. It's just about how did you unlock that? And I think, at times he struggled with interceptions and he struggled with that. And that was his game to an extent. He was taking chances, but that's just why I feel like that. It's hard to put him past 7 because obviously he won the Super Bowl, but I'm not going to sit here and lie. That year he won the Super Bowl, Aaron's team was nice. And then I would say probably 2 more years, 3 more years, maybe even 4, they were still, really good on offense and really good on defense. But after a while, that defense swindled down. They gave him Tay. They gave him a good offensive line. And that offensive line was good, and they were getting away with it.
He always had a good offensive line.
That defense was suspect.
He always had good. But by 20, what was it, F dot? I don't know, 2016, 27?
Yeah, I'll say 2015 plus.
Suspect. And then it became, okay, Aaron, you got to carry.
First of all, Aaron Rodgers, they had a defense with the year they won a Super Bowl. Yeah,
stop it, bro. I can name their running backs and everything.
That following year, their offense was god level, but their defense was terrible. They were the worst in the league. They gave up the most points. But when Aaron Rodgers, 2018, 2019, 2020, that's when the offense started falling off, and that defense was superb. Even when they were playing against the Bucs, they had a superb defense. They had Jaire Alexander, picked off Brady twice. That defense was legit. But Aaron Rodgers literally would not throw the ball down the field in that playoff game, and that's why they lost. Legit, he had a chance to win that game. Brady got picked off twice. He played a horrible game, and Aaron Rodgers literally folded just as bad.
Well, yeah, that was past that when we after
Aaron Rodgers had some defense.
That season was the one season. I mean, you can add more if you know, but I'm pretty sure that's really the one season where they were legitimately top 5.
Yeah.
On defense.
No, it was like that for years. They had some dogs on defense for years.
Brandon.
So you go, but I'm gonna tell you, Dot. You go check the Super Bowl, what they call it, the odds for them to win the Super Bowl and how much they were favorites. Dog, I can promise you, there was a 6-year span where the Packers were top 5 and favorites year after year. Dog, they had everything on paper. They had so many seasons where they go 12 and 4 and 13 and 3. Dog, Aaron Rodgers, man, stop it.
No, he sold sometimes in the playoffs. I'm not. That's not what I'm not.
But okay, and I'm not trying to cape for him, but I'm just asking you a question because I'm curious to see what y'all think. When we see Aaron with a Mike McCarthy offense, not want to throw the ball deep, as you were saying, right? And then you see Dak, it's the same stuff. I'm not saying that we excuse their play, but all I'm saying is let's hold Mike accountable because he's low key whacking the playoffs. That's all I'm saying. But I'm not.
Here's why I'm a rebuttal. I'm never going to give Mike that. I don't give a fuck how y'all feel about it because Mike had way more freedom when he coached the Packers than he does now. Dog, I've watched literally, and mind you, Mike McCarthy has had great. I watched Jerry Jones ruin Bill Parcells. He made Bill Parcells, so you know what? I'm out to retire. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we get you.
Yeah, you cut out. Yo. Just reset.
I said we're not gonna do that because I can't give Mike McCarthy that because literally he is on one of the most enabling franchises you've ever been in your life. I literally watched Jerry Jones ruin Bill Parcells. So here's my thing. So it's Mike McCarthy's fault when they bad in the playoffs, but is it not? So wait. It's Mike McCarthy's fault when they bad in the playoffs, but how many times have you guys gone 12-4, 13-3, 11-5, 12-4? So it's my fault. I get you the whole season, but now when the playoffs, it's my fault. That's not fair because any other coach. Even with his track record with the Cowboys, any other coach with that track record, with them type of wins, season after season, come on, bro. So and here's another thing. And this is the thing Brandon knows. Brandon knows is okay. And I'm off. Real quick, let me get this off. Here's one thing Brandon knows. And I'm gonna say because he's more older in age. Brandon, was anybody poo-pooing Mike McCarthy when he coached the Green Bay Packers?
Yeah, he was always respected. He's respected.
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't this. All this shit is happening now. Came out of nowhere when the Cowboys. No one ever saw his name. Matter of fact, I remember when he went into free agency to be a coach, everybody wanted him.
And then also, you got to think about it like this: Aaron Rodgers is one of the greatest talents. He probably is the greatest talent throwing the football of all time. Guys like Peyton. I'm gonna use Peyton for example. Peyton went to 4 Super Bowls with 4 different head coaches. Legitimately. Okay, Tony Dungy, cool. Do you even know who the second coach was? That he got the Super Bowl with Jim Caldwell, nigga. Jim Caldwell.
Who couldn't coach? No. Who couldn't coach? I don't know what nobody said. Couldn't coach.
John Fox, who never couldn't coach, and then who was his last coach? Gary Kubiak. Exactly. So it's like, bro, you can't keep blaming the head coaches.
I like Gary. Gary Kubiak.
Peyton when he had 3 touchdowns and 7 picks when he had a squad.
But Peyton was, but Mike, what you don't know is that Peyton was the one quarterback other than Tony Dungy, Mike. Peyton was the one quarterback that he went to teams and became the coach. He was a coaching quarterback, bro. He could literally go. He was literally the one guy who would go to teams and coach. He would coach.
All I'm saying is that if we're saying that Aaron Rodgers,
I could have coached Peyton Manning.
Peyton had better teams around him with the Colts for that whole
stretch. No, he didn't.
No,
Mike, you don't want to challenge me with this. You don't want to challenge me.
Yeah, you don't. Can we stop breaking shit down, Mike? Cornerback play was terrible. Safety play was mid. Like, don't do that. Linebacker play was mid.
You don't want to do that, Mike. You don't want to
Gary Brackett was their best fucking linebacker for like 6 years.
Vontae Davis, Reggie Miller, Marvin Harrison.
Vontae Davis was around with Andrew Luck, buddy. What are you talking about? Peyton was gone by then.
You're lying.
Peyton was gone by then,
buddy. Vontae Davis was gone.
Don't lie.
Vontae Davis was gone.
Okay, I'm saying they've had guys.
Peyton Manning was not on the Colts in 2014.
So, Mike, let's not just Mike. Let's not just say it. Mike, let's not just say it. Mike, let's not just say it. Let's look it up. Don't just say it. Let's really look it up.
I've looked it up before. I got it.
Pull the screen up, Mike. Can you have your computer with you?
No, because you just said Vontae Davis, so that's insane. Anyway, that's insane. You just said Vontae Davis.
Pull the screen up, Mike, and let's go from Peyton's rookie year, and let's look, because you can literally go on Pro Football Focus, and you can look at every roster from his rookie year. It ain't that hard.
I'm already there.
Yeah, let's get it.
Okay.
Can you pull it up? Can you pull it up for us to see it too?
They were ranked.
No, I can't pull it up, but I'm not going to.
And also, they're.
That's my F dot. Brandon will tell you F dot. The only consistency they had was Dwight and Robert Mathis. That's it, bro.
Yeah,
that's it.
Okay.
If Bob could have gave you a good 10 years of football, I promise you.
Earl, could you hold on. Mind you, in 2006, the Indianapolis Colts defense was ranked 23rd in the NFL, allowing 22 points a game.
So how did
they were also 32nd against the run. That's dead last, Mike. That's dead last, Mike. That's dead last, Mike. But he was carried.
Okay, answer my question.
That's dead last.
So B, answer my question. How the fuck did they win the Super Bowl with him throwing 3 touchdowns and 7 picks in the damn playoffs then?
Mind you,
because they must have.
Mind you. He came. Let me answer.
You want to be for real? You want to be for real? You want to be for real, Mike? Mike. Hold on, Mike. I'm gonna be for real, Mike.
No, hold on, Mike.
I'm gonna be for real, Mike.
You asked me a question.
Here's the thing, Mike. Mind you,
they played the New England Patriots, who were Super Bowl champions prior to. Peyton came back from 17 points down, 0 points he scored in the second half. I think that's how they won the Super Bowl, Mike. Just to let you know. Mind you, their defense was ranked 32nd in stopping the run, 23rd overall.
Mind you, in the Super Bowl, they went against Rex Grossman. Come on, man, stop it.
I mean, I'm seeing the numbers, and he had 3 touchdowns and 7 picks. Like you keep
saying the same thing, bro. You just said the defense carried him. You said he had better defenses. That's what you just said.
So how did they win? How did they win if he had 3 touchdowns and 7 picks? I'm still confused.
You see how he's regurgitating the same thing, but he said before that the defense was carrying him. Is the defense carrying him or what? Like, is the defense carrying him or what, Mike?
Yes, in that playoffs he did. It definitely.
Brandon, do this, Brandon. Please, Brandon. Just give me how many years did Peyton play? Real quick, let's do it simple. Yeah. How many years did Peyton play?
A lot.
How many?
20 years? I don't know.
How many years did Peyton play, Brandon?
15.
Go on pro. Somebody go on Pro Football. Just give me how many years he played.
Dude, I'm already there. I went to the rookie year team. The first year, second year.
Mike, you're not listening. I'm trying to set this shit up the right way. 17. How many years did he play?
17.
Cool. 17. So half of 17 is 18.5. So give me his first 9 years in the NFL and give me every defensive rank, and then we're gonna do the same thing with Aaron Rodgers, and we'll see who was carried.
Defensive? Can I? Oh yes. Okay.
Yeah, so rookie year they were 23rd in the NFL. But go ahead.
No, let's run the numbers. Let's run the numbers.
Stop talking about regular season ranking.
Dog, you get distracted, Mike. Run the numbers. Well,
I'm just trying to understand why you keep saying it, because it's a regular season.
It don't matter. And women lie, men lie, numbers don't. We're gonna run these numbers.
Okay, they were 23rd in '98 because they were just bad, and
that's his rookie year, right?
Yes. Then the next year,
second year. What would they rank?
Okay, I got it. Just let me go down the line. I got it. 13-3. Where is it here? Points against 17th in '99.
Next.
Then it was 15th.
Damn.
Okay, yeah. Then it was last.
Damn.
Then it was 7th. In 2002 was 7th.
Finally, after 5 years, we get a 7
was 20th.
Okay.
2004 was 19th.
Damn.
2005 was 2nd.
Okay. Cool. That's 2.
2007 it was 1st. And what happened that year? 2008 it was 7th. 2009 it was 8th.
Okay.
In 2010 it was 23rd.
Cool. Damn. Now give me how many years did Aaron Rodgers play?
Hold on. I need to type in Aaron.
Well, you got to remember. He was in the league for a while, but you got to give me his once he started playing, which is like 07 or 08.
I got you. I just don't have it.
Yeah, give me like 10 years of Aaron Rodgers defenses.
Okay, so we'll go his first year starting and on. First year. Oh, so he played. Hold on. He played. What did that be? 19 years. Well, so far, so he'll have 20 this year. So the first. We'll say 10 seasons, yeah. First year, he was 22nd. Then the year, what was it? Was 2009 when they won the Super Bowl?
Was he playing? But
he was not. He was.
I remember
7th.
he sat for a while.
No, because this was the first year he started, okay. And they went 6-10.
Mm-hmm.
So that was, So they were good, and he was just wasn't good apparently. Then they were 3rd in 2009. Wait. Did I mess that up? Or no, they were 5th in 2000. Or no, 22nd in 2008. My bad. So first year when they were 6-10, 22nd. Sorry. Then they were 7th in 2009, and they were 11-5.
Mm.
Then 2010 they were 2nd again, 10-6. Was this when they won the Super Bowl? Yes. Okay. Then, so there's gonna be a couple more years where they were good for sure. Well, next year they were 20th.
His second year they were ranked 2nd. Are you serious? All right.
Next year they were 20th. The year after they were 20th.
I remember that. Yep, I remember that.
Then they were 11th. Then they were 24th. Then they were 13th. Then they were 12th.
Damn.
Then they were 21st. Then they were 26th. See, don't be like, damn, when it's not even that, like, he's not like, bro,
not that,
22nd in 2018. So it's relatively the same, genuinely. Like, being fair, it's the same.
If it's relatively the same, why is one guy going to 4 Super Bowls and the other guy not?
Well, because his defense performed in the playoffs, as I said, because he threw.
And that's why it's not the same.
Clearly. No, obviously Aaron choked, but all I'm saying is that I've seen, and Peyton Manning has won Super Bowls playing well. I think that year specifically, I'd give him credit because if I'm correct, that Super Bowl game was a monsoon, and he didn't like have crazy stats, but he didn't do anything bad in that game. So that I don't really care about that playoff run. But all I'm saying is that he's benefited from winning when he's played bad, and quarterbacks obviously done that. And I personally think Tom Brady, especially early in his career, had a lot of that, and a lot of people don't talk about that.
And listen, here's what
making the GOAT. But
here's what I want to say. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Hold on. Everybody knows.
For me, like,
wait. Let me say this. Everybody knows that Archie Manning went to the devil and he sold his soul for his family's legacy. But the devil told him, "This is how this going to work. You're gonna have one son who's gonna be everything he need to be in the regular season. But then your other son ain't gonna be shit in the regular season, but he gonna win in the playoffs. It's a deal he had to make.
Okay, but as an Eli hater,
If Peyton Manning had Eli's if Peyton Manning had Eli's playoff success, he would be number one, Mr. Krabs.
Go dead ass. He might be.
He would be number one.
But he can never be number one because I just feel like the lack of preparation with him wasn't there.
No, but he's saying like if he had Eli-esque
if Peyton had them Eli performance.
Peyton with Eli's playoff and Eli with Peyton's regular season is literally Tom Brady. I'm sorry, that's Tom Brady.
Aaron and Peyton are the best two regular season quarterbacks ever statistically, and I'd give it to Peyton because Peyton, I feel like his best years. Obviously, Aaron is all about the touchdown to interception ratio and efficiency, but Peyton was throwing for like 48 and 10.
It ain't even that. If you literally watch those teams, other than Tony Dungy, if you watch them teams, the difference is that Peyton was the franchise. When I say he was the franchise, is that he was the true definition of a nigga who led that team. Like Brandon, to tell you, them years without even them later years with Tony Dungy, it was like Peyton. You know what to do. Do your thing. It was literally like, dog, it was like how LeBron does. It's like, you do your thing. I don't need to coach you. You do your thing. With Aaron Rodgers, he was like, Peyton was the kid who helps pay the bills, who takes out the trash, who helps repair the car. You know what I'm saying? It's a couple things in the house that's in his name. Aaron Rodgers was a nigga who, he gets the tablet, the parents buy him the car. You know, he doesn't even know how much the light bill costs because he never has to worry about it. The light's just always on. Like, he's the nigga who like this.
We just went down the line on the defenses, and it's the exact
same.
I'm
talking about who he was. But here's the thing, Mike. I'm talking about who he was to the franchise.
His personality?
Mike. Who he was to the franchise, yes.
Mike, another thing.
Peyton is well respected because he worked his ass off.
No, my fault.
Another thing you gotta think of. He had 4 neck surgeries, dog. Mind you, he threw 55 touchdowns and 10 picks. He was throwing ducks. Them joints didn't even have a tight spiral on it no more.
His neck.
I can always tell how good of a player you are when your athleticism and it just starts to dwindle away, and you can still put up like great numbers. When you throwing ducks and you throwing 55 touchdowns, bro, mind you, it's a brand new team. It's a new offense. It's a new scheme. There are new guys. The timing and all that stuff has got to be perfect and all that. Like, bro, like Peyton, you can clearly tell worked his ass off. It wasn't like a diva like Aaron Rodgers was. Aaron Rodgers sitting there. Aaron Rodgers sitting there audibling, and he's sitting there audibling, doing his own thing out there. There were stories where literally the offensive coordinator would call the plays, and Aaron Rodgers just rolling his eyes. He's like, no, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna go this play. Like, that's dysfunctional, bro. Right? That's why you're not. Right? That doesn't make you a great leader like that.
Okay, wait.
That doesn't make you a great leader.
I just feel like you're being a little bit unfair, although I understand what you're saying.
18.5, Marley. Brandon, tell them what we did though.
But Peyton.
Remember what we did? Remember when we put Peyton on the Broncos and Madden before he ever went to the Broncos, and then he went to the Broncos?
Oh yeah.
Y'all did that?
Yeah, that was pretty sick. It was pretty scary.
Y'all do lottery tickets or something.
Yeah.
But we did it for a couple of people though, didn't we?
Yeah.
Peyton in processing of the field definitely. I mean, I would almost say clears Aaron because Aaron just doesn't play like that. Aaron is very good in the pocket and as a processor. Don't get me wrong, but he's more. I would just say this. Aaron relied on his legs like Mahomes, but Aaron was the first Mahomes in the sense of the way that he uses legs. He's not going to use it a lot, but when he does, he could get you 10, 15 yards.
But Aaron was 90%.
Aaron now
his ability. Peyton outsmarted you. Aaron Rodgers was 90% his ability. Because you know I know because now this is the time, the last couple of years, this is the time now with that ability, it's almost like basketball. I can't get to the rim the way I used to, so now I gotta post you, I gotta learn how to get my angles. This is when you're supposed to now be a master of the game mentally. And you see, now that Aaron Rodgers has lost a step ability-wise, he ain't shit. Even like Brent said, even when Peyton lost a step ability-wise, that extra brain kicked in of, I can outsmart you niggas. I know how to put the pieces on the puzzle on this chessboard to make it work. Nigga, Aaron Rodgers, when his athletic ability started to fall away, he looked terrible because you can't do what you used to do that used to get you by. I fear the same thing for a guy like Josh Allen because 10 years from now, if Josh Allen's still playing, it's going to be, dog, Josh, you're going to have to win games with your brain. And I don't know if Josh Allen got that.
Josh is going to retire before that, dude. Josh
For real?
No,
that's always something that
I don't know if Josh's body is going to legitimately hold up enough to even for him to get there. And I'm not saying that he's getting
hit too many. He takes too many hits.
I'd say around 35. I think he'll call it, unless he hasn't won a Super Bowl. That's the only way because, I mean, for him, it's just he takes too much punishment and he takes too many hits. But it doesn't really, or 6'5", whatever, 240. But
it don't matter.
He gonna be Big Ben. He gonna be Big Ben. He gonna be Big Ben.
Done.
Big Ben was fried.
It'll last a little bit longer.
Ben is a rare anomaly. That's a guy that always took the punishment. Pause, no diddy. But he kept getting up and he played till he was 37. He started falling off when he was like 35. Ben had a good long career. But guys,
nigga, 35 is being nice, Brandon. He fell off at like 33, 32. Yeah. He was bad. He was there for at least 4 more seasons. He was cooked for at least 4 seasons.
I give him like 30.
Prolonged his career. He prolonged his career, but he did. But he still would be able to throw the ball with efficiency and it would be bullet passes. It'd be heat on the ball. But guys like Cam Newton and Andrew Luck, who were physical specimens, they were both. Well, Andrew Luck was 6'4", Cam was 6'6". They were both like 250 apiece. Like when those guys hit 30, bro, they were done. They couldn't do it no more.
Well,
so
I
it's
just
like,
think,
bro, like
I think
it's
honestly,
like Josh Allen. Like you can't take that much punishment, dog. It can't happen.
I don't know. I don't think Cam would have been killing at like 37. Don't get me wrong. I think though Cam was a lot smarter as a passer and as a processor than people give him credit for.
Nah, Cam could have Warren Mooned if they didn't beat him up in the first couple of years. He could have Warren Mooned.
People don't understand. Just because somebody does something doesn't mean that they can't do something else. In the sense of, obviously for most of his career he was one read and go because once he hit that one read and it wasn't there, he could get you like 5 yards every time. So why wouldn't he do it? So just because he did that didn't mean that he could switch it because some guys that have that mental thing who are just that nice and know.
Hold up, but be fair because one can be 2 read and go. Let's be fair though. He was 1 read and go because when did he have the ability to be 2 read and go? You name me the time when Cam Newton had a do-over receiver that lasted.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That was what was
he had to be.
Yeah. Why wouldn't he do it if he didn't have to? That's what I'm saying. Or if he like. Why would he not do it if it's gonna work and it's the best thing for the?
We would all love Jalen Hurts situations when you got two number ones on each side.
but the thing about Cam, I just think his shoulder gave out on him. He was done, dude.
No, that TJ Watt hit. That
TJ Watt hit. You cannot throw, especially I played baseball, but I know how to throw football. It's a lot more shoulder. It's way more shoulder.
Yeah.
With baseball, it's a lot more snap wrist, snap.
Yeah.
But they used him like a fucking wrecking ball for his first 8 years in the league. They used him like a fucking wrecking ball, man.
They ran him like a running back. They ran him like a running back.
Literally, dog.
Yeah.
Literally, dog. The same thing they doing to Josh Allen, but they didn't give Cam a fucking, we're going to give you a step on Diggs for a couple years. They ain't do that for Cam. You got rid of Steve Smith. Dog, I will continue to say this. I know y'all love that fucking no-fly zone, whatever like that, but Steve Smith was a different animal, and he damn sure had to keep his lead number. If we would have kept Steve's ability, his mental ability, his grit, like, he could have maybe helped us maybe win that Super Bowl, dog, for real.
Being that man, you have to do the run game either, though, right? Because McCaffrey wasn't there around.
No, dude, they had an amazing run game his entire career. They had a good. What they gave Cam a great offensive line. He always had a good offensive line. Thank God, because he'd have retired much sooner.
He also contributed.
They always gave him a great offensive line. He had grills in his entire career. That was love. And he always had a good run game. Always.
Yeah. They had some of the best.
Yeah. Ted Ginn was good at what he did because he almost had 900 yards. I like Ted Ginn.
But it was all deep balls, Brandon, and he dropped a lot of them.
But still he played well. He still played well.
Bro, I was rewatching his season, and I watched the first game, bro. Ted Ginn drops an open touchdown.
Yeah,
I mean, like, when you watch the game, it looks way
Brandon. For what Ted Ginn got, if Ted Ginn caught,
I know you saw
if he caught the right amount of passes, he'd have had 1,200 yards and like probably 9 touchdowns. Like, seriously.
Yeah, but he only had like.
He'd have been Deshaun Jackson that year.
Yeah, legit.
But what was you saying? You saying you ain't gonna lie? What you saying?
So it's like they needed a number one possession guy. I mean, I guess they feel they had that in Greg Olsen, who he was phenomenal. But I think they needed another outside weapon.
Yeah,
like Brandon LaFell wasn't getting it done. I think Brandon LaFell was on that team at the time.
Fat Boy
And
Kelvin.
then,
No. It was Devin Funches. We had Devin, and then we had
he stinks. He stinks.
No, listen. We had Delvin.
Yeah.
Wait. Let me finish. We had Delvin. Mike. Let me finish. Let me finish. We had Delvin, and we had Funches. So we had Funches, and then we had Kelvin Benjamin. But remember, they both got hurt at the beginning of the season. Kelvin was hurt from like last season. He was hurt for the whole year, and then Devin got hurt like the first 1 or 2 games, if I remember. So we literally was. I remember we were Greg Olsen, Ted Ginn, Jericho Cotchery.
Yeah, I remember Jericho Cotchery.
Those were our fucking receivers, dog. What Steve Smith? Because even in that time, Steve Smith was killing it for the Ravens.
Come on, bro.
Steve Smith could have helped, dog. He could have helped.
I ain't gonna lie, he could have helped.
And then people try to slight Cam's passing game, like, buddy, just have some common sense and think about it. If you have receivers that are dropping and also can't create separation, of course you're never going to reach your potential as a passer. That's just how it works.
But mind you, Mike, we can clip. I can go find the clip. I said at the beginning of the season, I said the reason why I had Josh Allen winning MVP, I said because he was going. I kept saying it. I said because he's gonna have one of them Cam Newton years where he ain't got nobody, so he's gonna do every fucking thing, and you're gonna have to say he's the most valuable. I kept saying it. I said he's gonna have a Cam Newton year. He's gonna have a Cam Newton year because when you are all go or bust. You literally have to do everything. You saw John Allen do it this year. It's like, dog, I'm going to find somebody to be good. I may get good that year because you're all I had. I'm going to work what I got in here, and I'm going to make something out of it. I'm going to let him MacGyver this shit. I ain't got much in here, but I'm going to whip up something. And
but
that's
early,
what it
is. This is what I mean, though, when I'm saying you need a receiver. Because people say that, and I feel like a lot of like fans and casual fans think that that's cliche, but it's really not. Because when Josh didn't have Stephon before, he was younger, and he struggled. He gets him, and then immediately that allows him to progress because now he has a guy that actually can win, and he can pass it to him at a very solid level. So that just helps him out. And then now they got off of Diggs, and now he's also has a great skill set, one of the best quarterbacks we've seen from that standpoint. But now he knows enough to where he's making all the right reads, so he doesn't really even need a 1 anymore because he developed with a 1, and now his processing is way better. So
even like with Vic wasn't the best passer, but who do you have in Philly? Algie Crumler, Pennis Price? I mean, in Atlanta. But you give him a Jeremy Macklin.
Nah, he
you
had
give
Roddy
him
White
John
for
Jackson.
a few years.
You give him
Yeah, Roddy White.
Yeah. But I'm talking about
not long, but he had like 3 years or something.
But it's not no. By the time he got dog, let's be real. Vic got baby Roddy. I don't even think he had Roddy White. We got to check that. That might be.
Nah, he had Roddy White for about 3 years. That was it.
I gotta go see. I don't think so.
Hold on, I can look it up.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But I just think they were definitely more talented, but it's also just Andy Reid's system because
you gotta remember Vic got the league early because of that dog shit.
I haven't watched.
I know, but I still.
But I assume they're not.
So Roddy White came in 05. Vic was not there, Brandon.
Wow.
Yeah, Vic got there in 06, I think.
I really assume they were not.
Oh no, he had 2 years. 2 years of them. 2 years of them.
I can
2 years of them.
You. I didn't watch.
Do I know ball? Do I know ball? Goddamn it.
2 years of them. 2 years of them. Hold up,
Yeah,
but here's the thing though.
Yeah,
but let's be fair, because Roddy White, hold up, because Roddy White played 16 games his first 2 seasons, but he only played 13 games total them first 2 seasons.
Yeah, I know.
So that's different, and they only played 13 games them first 2 seasons. So Vic had Roddy White, who they didn't respect and he wasn't proven. What I'm saying is that even though Vic wasn't the greatest passer, we act like that what you have don't matter. Once you give him a Jerry Macklin, Deshaun Jackson, a LaShawn McCoy, Britt Selleck, now he has a fucking MVP like season.
I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie.
Because he didn't want. He didn't.
Hold on. I ain't gonna lie. I do feel bad for Cam and Vic and all them, but
it's
Andrew Luck literally had to play with no offensive line, one T.Y. Hilton, and a shitty defense. So and he still would put up 40 touchdowns on you. So
who was y'all running back that year too?
Respect Reggie Wayne.
Who was the running back?
Respect Reggie Wayne.
Hey, Earl, let me tell you something.
He
had Reggie Wayne. No, stop. Let's keep it a bean. He had Reggie Wayne for 1 season, Reggie Wayne revived his career. Mind you, he was 34 years old. He had 1,200 yards, 6 touchdowns.
Andrew
Yes.
just like that.
And then T.Y. Hilton was a rookie at that time. Only got 800 yards. Okay. The following season, Reggie Wayne tears his ACL. And then T.Y. Hilton finally has 1,100 yards. And then they get rid of Reggie Wayne. So literally, he had T.Y. Hilton. Was putting up 30, 40 touchdowns a year. He literally had one T.Y. Hilton. The worst not second worst, the worst offensive line in the entire NFL for damn near his whole career. And he has a bad defense. Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question, B. Because I'm saying T.Y. Hilton had 800 yards his rookie year, which is actually really good for a rookie, especially at that time. But what I mean is, was T.Y. Hilton really like that? Was he a top 15 receiver? I mean, probably not. So he
absolutely was a top 15.
He was respectable.
I'm saying his rookie year, he was top 15.
He led the league in receiving yards at one point. You said what?
No. B, I'm saying his rookie year, was he top 15? Not.
Oh, hell no.
Exactly.
He was like 26.
So what does that say about Andrew?
Exactly.
He's elevated.
Y'all don't want to hit this for me, but T.Y. was always mid to me. He was fun,
T.Y. was
but
nice.
he was mid.
I mean,
so if T.Y. is mid, like you're saying, how is Andrew Luck putting up 40 touchdowns with just him?
I mean,
you see what I'm saying? And no,
hold on. We never hold on. When I talk shit about Reggie about Andrew Luck, I trolled about him quitting. I played, but Brandon, let's be for real. I've always said he was amazing. He just had a terrible line.
He had no O-line, no defense, and no receivers.
T.Y. was one of the best deep threats in the league at that time. I ain't gonna lie. T.Y. was
well, I just think you can.
Well, Andrew Luck had one of the better deep balls too. I'm just saying.
You can argue about
crazy.
T.Y.'s skill set like not being the best, but at the end of the day, like when you look at
his ball was deep, man.
But when you look at the receivers that were there at that time, when he was in his peak, there's not that many that were like putting up consistent production like him, even if it really was just deep bombs. Like
niggas were giving Andrew Luck top 5 talks. Like niggas was giving him that type of respect.
Andrew Luck was good at going deep.
What he was going through.
He was good at going deep.
No, he was good. He was good. Period. Like he was good. Period, bro. He was like he was like cerebral with his shit
on the outside. Like
yeah, he was good. He was accurate. He had a good arm.
He was just younger than all the guys above him. That was
so it. So y'all would say he wasn't just deep. He had the whole package.
I think he had the whole package, bro. Andrew,
can you not do this right now?
Bro, what?
So would you say he was satisfactional?
What do you mean at Stanford?
He always satisfied us.
Mike, do you not get what he's doing right now? Mike,
he always satisfied what you're saying.
Wait, no.
He had it all.
Move on. What's the next topic?
Did he also have girth and length? I just need to know. Did he also have girth and length? Is that what it was?
You like how I didn't even think that's what it was, bro? That's how
Mike was just he was just going into it.
He's about to go in. He's about to go in.
Same way Mike almost gone and said the N-word that one time. Nigga, we know you zone out sometimes.
That definitely was not that, and I don't.
So these young, so these young guys.
So I can't.
Hey, put up Marley's comment, bro. Put up Marley's comment real quick.
I can't forget what I was gonna say.
Put up Marley's comment real quick, please.
I want to talk about this real quick. This is very interesting to me. I did not know that he retired until.
First of all, wait a minute. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about shift guards. Whoa. We won't stay on shift guards. Pascal Ibaka profile picture. You ain't shit, shift guards. What you not? Freak ass boy.
Wait, I want to know. Anyone in the chat knows? I want to know why. Did he just retire just cause, or did he have a medical condition?
It's probably. I think it was safety wise. I think he would just, I think he just wanted to be safe and think about his.
We talking about Andrew Luck, right?
No. Frank right now.
Yeah, health concerns. Okay.
I think it was health concerns. Yeah.
How old was Frank?
Frank was only in 7 seasons, so he had to be like 31. That's
29.
it. 29. He was 29. Oh, okay.
He wasn't that old.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna lie, guys. It ain't even got to be. Nowadays we've seen it a lot, dog. The NFL is so many semantics and things of that nature. You see guys that's like, dog, I'm not finna do this shit for forever. It's like, dog, I'm out. I don't want to do this and be beat up when I'm fucking 40 and I can't fucking walk no more. I want my kids like nowadays, man. You put up enough numbers in a short period of time, man, and you be good. You just step off like the NFL, like even with we talk about Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck, one of them guys that like, dog, I'm actually like, Andrew Luck is like, he was literally the perfect type of guy. Andrew Luck is the type of guy that like, Andrew Luck was what we thought Tim Tebow was. Like, he was a pound on his faith. He one of them guys is like, dog, football not everything to me. I'm great at it, but like, I'm not about to die about it. Like, so a lot of guys are like that more. Like, the game ain't what it used to be. So like, a lot of guys are more just chill. So I mean, I don't. That O line for the Lions is amazing any damn way. So it's like, dog, they'll replace him with somebody else and get busy. But shout out to Frank for retiring at an early career and living his life at 29 and 30.
Yeah, he made his millions. I think he's just taking it back and go, man. Which is,
guys ain't built like Larry Fitzgerald where they want to lose for a long time. And you got to realize Frank White first 4 or 5 seasons was all losing. No, Detroit. Let me say something. Detroit is they are the mecca for niggas retiring early because it's just a shitty situation. I'm out of here.
Yeah, so I think from what, because it reminded me of the Travis Frederick situation, but he had a legit, I think it was a nerve disorder.
Nah, you can't play with that. You can't play with that.
Yeah. So he had to retire for that. But I just think he said it wasn't specific. He just suffered a lot of injuries, so he was broken down. But he was 6'5".
Like, I don't think we talk about the amount of punishment you take on the O&D line.
But like,
it's contact every play.
This is a dude who is like one of the biggest linemen in the NFL, and even him retired at this age because of injuries. So I say that to say it doesn't matter how big you are, it doesn't matter how strong you are. Sometimes certain guys are built to do certain things. Certain guys can, mentally and physically be able to play for 15 years, and some guys can't do that. So, I mean, that's just how it goes. But I respect him for doing it because at the end of the day...
Plus, how old was Armstead when he retired? Because how old was Terran Armstead? Was he like 32, 31?
He was like 32, I believe.
And he went on the podcast and said publicly, he said, dog, when I seen guys like Jaire Verse and like how Myles Garrett was, bro, I'm so happy I got played no more. Like these new dudes coming to the league at D-line and O-line, I mean D-line and D-tackle. Dog, as an O-lineman, dog, you be like, yeah, well, that's my time to get out of here. Like,
no, that was crazy when he said that. That's why I think we should have a Jared first conversation too, low key, because I don't know. That dude's ceiling is crazy. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely pretty freaking high. I'm not gonna lie. The more that I think about it, but yeah, no, I think for the Lions specifically for next season, I think that they won't be as good as last year. But I'm not too quick to be like this team will miss the playoffs. I think it's going to be if the Bears figure it out, which is an if. I think it's going to be tough for them, but if two of those teams can be bad, then I think they'll be fine because
we're gonna have to start having a conversation if Jared Verse is really good about that. We're gonna have to start having a conversation about that motherfucking that St. Louis / LA Rams D line because it's some heat. Chris Long, Robert Quinn. Aaron Donald, like it's some heat over this. Man. They produce some. I don't know what they be doing in that weight room, but they produce some monsters.
There's some scouts, man. They know how to get them. They know where to go to get them guys, man, on that deep line. Real.
They just know where they're built different.
He got 2 brands in this joint. Oh, that was.
I don't know it. Like I ain't gonna lie, I don't know up to this day. I don't know a nigga who was more bendy than Robert Quinn, dog. He was bendy.
Yeah,
like it was crazy.
Boy, he was a beast.
Can we please say pause?
Yeah, he was bendy.
I can't take this no more. It's killing me.
Nah, the first one was crazy though.
I'm with Mike though. I'm with Mike. There's certain things you shouldn't associate yourself with because like come on, I'm not thinking about bendy about a guy. Like that's kind of where your brain at, Brandon. When I think bendy, I think like your
Bendy's
body. I don't think
I ain't gonna lie.
What you got hooking your shit? What you trying to say, Brandon?
Yo.
So anyway, yeah, Robert Quinn and Von Miller had a skill set where they would get low on the offensive lineman and they would be able to get around him at a bendy type level. Yes, in the football mindset. So yeah, they had that type of skill set, and I think Jared Verse has that same type of skill set as well. He has a high motor. Yeah, he has a high motor, and all that stuff.
Let's have some fun real quick. Can we name guys who are forgotten about who had a good, we'll say 3-4 years at D lineman that like they wiped out of there, but like for 3 or 4 years they was a problem. I'm gonna go first. Aldon Smith. Boy.
I think he just had like off the field stuff trouble. I don't think he just fell off the earth just because of his play.
Greg Hardy too.
Elvis Dumerville.
Mario Williams. Mario Williams was good.
Now, Marion Wynn had a couple seasons though. Like,
when we talk about edge rushers, is that what we're talking about?
yeah, air rushers.
Like underrated edge rushers? Well, yeah, Greg Hardy would have been mad because Greg Hardy was actually nice on Dallas. Greg Hardy, do not respect him as an individual, but that dude was just one of the more athletic freaks I've ever seen. Like he was pretty much dominating just straight off the in strength, which was he was a dog. He was a classic Jerry guy. Jerry loves guys like Greg Hardy. Oh my gosh, can't get enough of guys like Greg Hardy, and that's no pause for Jerry specifically.
Although I think it was steroid wise. Give me 2 years, them 2 years of Jason Babbitt over a lot of guys.
I'm trying to think of other guys.
Jason Babbitt, Philly,
He played for the Eagles.
in Tennessee.
I mean, I know this guy's like we know this guy, but I just feel like he doesn't get enough credit. Pierre Paul was something different when he was in his prime. On the Giants, dude, he put the fear in God in me when I watched those games. I was afraid for Tony's life when we were playing him. Because
here's one you guys probably won't remember.
And he came back.
Maybe Brandon will. Patrick Kearney.
Patrick who?
Patrick Kearney.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
For the Falcons.
Patrick Kearney.
Do research.
I gotta look him up. He doesn't lie.
I tell you what, I've never seen a pass rusher have no moves, but just to push you like James Harrison did.
Just strong.
That man was scary. It was
scary and powerful.
It was no.
Which Joe Thomas said the best way to beat him because they said he had little arms. You had to literally keep your distance with him. If you kept your distance with him, you could beat him.
But I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be 100%.
Dude, he had no pass rush
in the
moves at all.
2000s to 2020s.
It was just pushing.
There's only 2 guys that I really could think about, maybe 3 that were better than James Harrison. Genuinely.
Listen, the guy on the other side of him don't get enough love. Lamar Woodley was a problem.
I know Lamar Woodley. I know him.
James Harrison was like so good because he didn't even have to make a play. It's just if he was around, you feared him. He literally changed the game because they was like, all right, we got to make the league more safer because he is killing guys. The hit he put, go look it up. The hit he put on Muhammad Massaquoi, I swear on my mother's life that I thought he murdered him on the field. I thought he did, and then he followed it up like the same game, mind you. The hit he put on Colt McCoy was insane, dude.
Yeah,
he threw his elbows at his helmet like this, bro, and Colt McCoy.
Remember those Madden years with that defense? Those for like 3 years, those Madden years when you would play them on Hall of Fame. I mean, on All Madden. Every play was a hit stick.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get early here. Early. James Harrison or DeMarcus Ware?
DeMarcus Ware is not even close.
This is DeMarcus Ware.
DeMarcus Ware is a complete package. Like he is what you when you build. If I'm playing like Madden, I'm doing Superstar, and I build a D lineman to play like my franchise with, and I'm gonna play him solely. I'm gonna build a nigga that's 6'4", 6'5", super long arms, built like a damn statue. Like motor crazy.
I still think I fear James Harrison more. Like even though DeMarcus Ware is better,
but James you fear 2-time Defensive Player of the Year.
You fear.
You don't want to, but like James Harrison is like he's gonna
whack you. That's what you feel about.
Like
he's like you. He's gonna try.
He's like you like watching Shaq. He's saying you like watching Shaq because he was so dominant. But you loved Olajuwon's game because it was smooth. It was like I want to actually watch that. I want to watch you get a bucket step for step. How you get a bucket every single time you get it on the block and you get busy. Shaq, it's fun to watch, but it's like it ain't no fun there. It's just brute strength.
Shaq is just a man. Is basically a man making other men look like little boys.
But Kim Olajuwon is like technique, footwork, soft touch. Like it's different. Like James Harrison was just brute strength. DeMarcus Ware was bull rush, next play, spin move, next play, swim, next play, rip. Like it was like every time he was giving you a move. Like every time we was gonna come with.
And also being ridiculously athletic and being 6'5".
Then he had that big ball hair. He like Bobby Leslie. He like Bobby Leslie if he played D line. It was crazy.
Just another way that I can shit on Jaire as much as I can. As soon as DeMarcus Ware, which probably is half as good as he was in his prime, went to Denver. immediately contributes.
Thank God he won a ring. Thank God. I was so happy too.
I was
so happy for DeMarcus Ware.
My pops,
like, dude,
because my pops had respect for DeMarcus. My pops stopped watching football a little bit at that time, but like he loved DeMarcus.
I hate guys that are just so dominant for so long and they never win anything, bro. That joke pisses me off. And DeMarcus Ware just, thank God he wasn't one of them. He wasn't one of them.
That's because too many guys are loyal and just and that's cool. But like, to this day, dog, Larry, listen, if you know. When Larry got that $100 million from the Cardinals, I was like, all right, bro, but I no longer care for you.
Chat. Ask Papoose where loyalty gets you. Ask Papoose where loyalty gets you. It gets you cheated on.
Once you take I always said this.
Stop being
once you take the bag,
shit,
I don't care
organizations. Please, just leave.
Once you take the bag, I don't care anymore. Like for instance, Myles Garrett, I don't want to hear no whining no more because you had your way out. You took the bag. If you never win in Cleveland, I don't care no more. Once you take the bag, I literally go, good for you.
And I respect it though. You took the bag, that's cool, but I don't want to hear nothing about winning because you stayed with the bummy ass Browns. You know they're never gonna do nothing. So
you could have Jaire Alexander that thing, and y'all could have both probably been playing on the Ravens, but that would have been unfair.
My question to y'all is, what's the reason why Myles Garrett's not going to be looked at like Reggie White?
Because no, it's not
he didn't perform in the playoffs because his team sucked. I'm sorry. To me, it doesn't matter. But for people, the reason why people hold Reggie White as such a big light is because we were talking about Brett Favre earlier, who was the dude that was spearheading on the defense for those teams. That was Reggie.
So think about this. By the time it's all said and done,
people aren't going to remember anything from Myles Garrett because, they're going to remember who he was.
Be for real, but we did the same thing for Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald had to prove it. Once he was able to get a chance to prove it, he proved it. But here's my thing. Think about this for the Browns. They might go in history with it all said and done and have a top 5 D lineman and a top 5 O lineman and literally have nothing to show for it.
Yeah, like not a Super Bowl, like nothing. Like
one thing I know I'd be talking about Madden because I'm still Madden age. You could guarantee Joe Thomas being a 98 or better every year for like 10 years, dog. You just knew when you turned on Madden. Let me go see. Oh, yep, Joe Thomas the best left tackle. Okay, cool. I mean, who else stats went up? Like every year you knew when you went to left tackle. Okay, Joe Thomas at the top. Yep, like he should be. It was every year, dog.
Smith for a while, basically.
They had a time there where they had him, Alex Mack. They had some. It was him, Alex Mack.
And Zettler.
Every single quarterback they
had they had like 4 niggas that was just getting busy on the D line.
Like
O-line.
Like I don't understand how hard getting quarterback is. I'm sure it's hard, but dude, the Browns literally were putting out guys where it's just like these dudes don't even deserve to be backups. Like it's ridiculous, man. Like I don't know.
Brandon Whedon, bro, at 29, you draft 29-year-old Brandon Whedon, bro.
Come on, bro.
Did he even last 3 years?
Who did he have? Did he have a good receiver with him or no?
He had Josh Gordon. But he got hurt.
No. In college. Did he have somebody with him or no?
Brandon Whedon. He played for the OSU, so I don't think he did.
State. Yeah, no. I just wrote because Justin Blackman was before that.
I think he did play with Justin Blackman, actually.
That's what I'm saying. So, wait, I'm going to look it up because
I think he did play with Justin Blackman. I think you're right.
Why would you pick him first round if he had Justin Blackman? It's the same.
And you know what's funny? Neither of them panned out. Neither of them panned out.
It's why I didn't like Mac Jones because he didn't have enough traits and his team was too good. And it wasn't even the fact that I thought that he couldn't work out or he could. It was just it's going to be an uphill battle when he gets to a team that's not as good as Alabama and he's playing teams that are way better than the teams he was playing. Like he's gonna get screwed, and that's exactly.
Have y'all ever seen this stat?
What?
So the Browns, that 90s Brown coaching staff, dog, they had Bill Belichick on that staff. They had Ozzie Newsome on that staff. Mike Tannenbaum on that staff. Who else? Jim Schwartz on that staff, Eric Mangini on that staff, like Nick Saban on that staff. Dog, there's that stat, that 90s Brown staff literally, bro, went on to be some of the greatest coaches of all time.
Oh yeah. No, but that's why I respect Bill though.
Like it's the franchise, bro. They're cursed, bro.
No, but that's why I respect Bill and Nick. Because people don't understand how close they were to actually having a good team. And it took them a while. It was an uphill battle for them to get a good team, too. And then immediately, once they got even a resemblance of when they were like, all right, we're heading to Baltimore. Let's go capitalize on that. Which good for. Let's go Baltimore. My aunt's a Baltimore fan.
We shout out Bama's podcast. We did Bama's podcast and Damian Allen, who's the brother of Marcus Allen, older brother of Marcus Allen. He came out and said, I think he is the older brother. He might be younger brother, but he's the brother of Marcus Allen. And he came out and said that he think that Lamar and Patrick is number 1 and 2. I want to say this because a lot of people I noticed the consensus on Lamar Jackson that he's great. I do believe, and I hope it happens because Lamar's still young. How old is Lamar now? F. 27?
27, yeah.
He's still young. If Lamar figures it out, and I'm going to say this, I want this to get clipped up, and I'm going to put my face on here. If Lamar Jackson figures it out in the next year or two, he is going to run the league until he's like 34.
I mean,
if Lamar Jackson figures out in the playoffs, he washes Patrick Mahomes. If he figures it out. When I say figure it out, I mean when the game slow, if it ever does slow down for him in the playoffs. That second half he gave me last year, if he can give me both halves of that, it's over for Patrick Mahomes. He'll be looked at as the better guy because he'll have just as many all pros and MVPs, and if he gets a couple Super Bowls, it's over with.
I mean,
I'm just saying that.
What I'm saying is that Lamar's skill set is better than Patrick Mahomes, which I don't even disagree with. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Lamar's skill set is ridiculous. I think the accuracy in the pocket is
this past season. I ain't gonna lie, this past season for me, Mike. So like,
the best off script.
There is no more. He can't pass. He threw 40 TDs, bro.
He's the best.
4K yards too.
I'll say it again. It's the best. I don't care about the stats. It's the best off script season in NFL history by any quarterback. It is because the running
and has never had a true number 1.
It's the running and the throwing. Mahomes, when he threw 50 tuds, was just running out the pocket and just throwing bombs because he had Tyreek Hill. Brett Favre had Sterling Sharp a little bit, but he always had solid receivers. I feel like I'm not gonna stand on that though.
Imagine if Lamar, instead of going to the fucking the Los Angeles Rams, he gets a Devontae Adams, or instead of going to New England, he gets a Stephon Diggs. Man, Lamar is
crazy though. Early, sometimes when it comes to like quarterbacks having a number 1 receiver, sometimes I feel like they benefit without having a number 1. I don't know, like certain quarterbacks though, like Lamar, guys like Lamar, Josh, a few other players. I feel like they kind of it's hard to explain. I see your point.
I mean, Lamar, you get it because the flow of the ball is more free. Yeah, it's more free ball. It's more free football because you're not worried about I gotta make sure the guy get his numbers. Exactly. But the only thing about that is that when it comes to guys like Lamar, in the playoffs is where that matters the most though. What people talk about.
That's true.
That's when you need a number 1.
That's true.
And
like Zay is a number 1. He's just not a true number 1.
Like we haven't actually seen it. Yeah. People say that he could work out. He's probably better without a number 1, but we've never seen it. That's why I've never agreed with that specifically. Can he make it work? Yeah, but I feel like too, in order to be that guy without a number 1, your processing has to be at another level, especially.
I mean, honestly, the talent around Lamar, the pass catchers and all that stuff, they're all like B-list guys. They're not. He has like no A's on his roster, but they're all like B-list guys.
I'd say Andrews is a B+. I think
Andrews is great, and Isaiah Likely is great. They're good. They're great, solid options. You could depend on those guys. I say that loosely because Mark Andrews was atrocious that playoff game. Bateman is becoming that guy, and Zay Flowers, I can trust them. Like they're all solid. They're all solid B's in my book. Yeah.
Well, I think Rashad, because I was out on him not last year, but the year
he had a good season, bro. He had a good season.
No, not last year, but the year before that. Yeah, and then
injuries.
Like his value, you can't get rid of him because he's good enough to be a 2 or a 3, and his what's it called? Chemistry with Lamar is the best out of any of the
You
receivers.
can't get rid of him right now. The Eagles say, "Hey guys,
Well,
it's
you can get
it's
what?
2 years from now." The Eagles say, "Dog, we can't afford to pay everybody. Hey guys, we'll take Rashad Bateman. We'll give you Devontae. We want a first round pick
Oh,
from you
you
too."
don't even.
Oh
You
yeah,
don't
you
even.
go get
Okay,
Devontae.
okay.
Get
You
Devontae.
taking
But
it
I'm
for
saying
get rid
like
of him.
Rashad Bateman is a really good
Not
wide receiver too, bro. He's
But
really
Devontae Smith,
reliable.
like,
And again, like what Michael said, he has that chemistry with Lamar, and Lamar
He
like
does.
him, bro. Like they like him.
One, I'm telling you though, one of them teams who had two number twos, them young teams like Diggs and Devontae Adams, and Smitty and them. I promise you, in 3 years, Lamar gets one of them niggas. I think Lamar gets T Higgins in the next year or two.
bro.
The thing is,
Smitty would be
if I
perfect.
want Lamar to get a number one, I want him to get. I don't want him to get no old like a veteran number one.
No,
man. I want him
Smitty
to
would be
get
perfect.
younger.
Smitty's
Yeah,
perfect.
Smitty. I'd rather
Because
go get like a Smitty.
Smitty's a good route runner, but he doesn't do anything crazy. Honestly, a lot of the routes that he runs are just deep posts, goes, maybe a couple intermediates. That's pretty much it. He's not someone that is like a Julian Edelman or somebody that, needs that short route in the slot to get open. So I would
No,
say
Smitty. I ain't gonna lie, Smitty.
I would say that
And
he would do really
Smitty
well.
with number one targets is
And
like
Smitty can high
he's like a
point.
Torrey Holt with number one targets.
But Smitty can high Smitty. The reason why Smitty's as good as he is because he's got that size to where he's super fast and quick, but he can also high point. So he's not physical, but he can high point over a lot of guys because he's not tall, but he's not short. I think
Smitty's an old school everything
Legit,
back. Like he's like a Marvin Harrison if he gets
he's
number one
almost as
targets.
tall as AB. Like they're not like that close in height. So I think he's 6 foot, and I think that he grew. Junior, senior year in college. I think because he looked like he was 5'10", 5'11" when he was winning the Heisman. Like maybe not. Maybe he was 6 foot.
Nah,
maybe,
I think it's his weight make him look taller too because he gained like 20
maybe he was
pounds.
just skinnier. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he
Nigga, they say he came to. They said freshman year he came to Alabama 145.
because I don't think people. I don't think people.
How much you weigh, Doc?
to get any
like
better
160,
out the draft?
How tall are you?
5'11".
So imagine being 20 pounds lighter.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's a baby.
Yeah, that's tough. That's crazy.
Mind you, DJ, they said 175, but I was like, DJ, that nigga stayed at like 155, 160 his entire
He was
career.
a pencil. He was a pencil. Like he was super skinny. Like he was one of the first guys that I saw, and I was like, dang, that guy doesn't look like he belongs on the field, but when you see him actually play, he belongs on the field for sure.
Yeah, Tank dealing with it now because Tank another one of them small backs, but he gets
D-Jack
killed.
was kind of like D-Jack
Tank
was.
is doing good.
He's not exactly like Smitty, but yeah, D-Jack was just. I mean, he was just more of a deep threat, but he had that kind of effect too.
Nah,
way that-
Deshaun Jackson could route run though. He was a good
Yeah,
route runner.
but he just did it like deep. He was a deep ball merchant. I ain't gonna lie to you.
He was.
Yeah, but
You
but,
had to because he was so daggone fast, man. You had
but
to.
to me, if you're you could
You
be
could
a
not.
merchant
You could not
at
give
that
him
level. Because it was at the point, it wasn't Tyreek Hill, but it was if you don't double cover me, I'm gonna get past him, unless you press me at the line. And good luck with that. Like
Here's a good take.
that it was like, all right, like yeah, you're a specialist and you're a merchant at something, but what you do is really really good. So I mean,
Here's a good take. 10 years of healthy. So D-Jack's career or 10 years of healthy Percy Harvin.
well, let me see. Okay, I saw Percy, but I need to see the stats.
But as a deep threat, are we talking about overall? Deep threat, I'm going D-Jack, but Percy
deep threat. Deshaun Jackson.
That
top 4
one
deep
year
threat
when
of all
Percy
time.
Harvin had 12 yards, dog, he was everything, dog.
So we're saying Seattle. Wait, when was he in his?
It was Tyreek Hillish.
Minnesota.
Yeah,
I mean,
he was
really good at Seattle.
he was in his prime on the Vikings. He was
Yeah,
kind of washed in
Minnesota, my
Seattle.
bad. Yeah, no, it's true. But he was really good. He was underrated on Seattle. They just didn't really use him as
It
much.
was.
But
I'm gonna stay with D-Jack though. I like.
yeah, he had 976 touchdowns. What was his rushing? 345 and 2. Shoot. I mean, Deshaun had some 1,100, 1,200 years, if I'm not mistaken.
They say
Yeah,
they say Percy and Adrian Peterson used to race like all the time after practice.
I mean, low key, I'm taking D-Jack.
I'm taking D-Jack too.
I'm taking D-Jack because D-Jack had like a lot. He got yards.
But a healthy Percy, man, a healthy Percy could have definitely. He
No,
could have
Percy's
developed
better.
more. He could have got a lot better too.
They used him. They used in the NFL. They literally used him in Florida just like that. Like legit.
Gadget.
His
burn them
body
out,
was
basically.
breaking down.
Burn them out, basically.
If I think Percy Harvin, I would probably take if I was drafting because it's just easier. You can just it's just I feel like you have more flexibility to just do what you want with a guy like Percy than D-Jack because D-Jack's a specialist, but Percy is just in any system like Percy's going to be
He could
used.
work.
You use here's the thing about it. You can use Percy like almost like a you can use Percy almost like how you use Tyreek Hill. As far as just give him the ball in space and he'll get busy.
Right, yeah. Like the RPO stuff.
Yeah.
Like RPO, yeah. He would
Just
probably
get it in his hands. Operation get Percy the ball.
He could get, I think he could get like 1,300, 1,400, maybe even more all-purpose yards in today's game. Because then he'd actually be used in the real way that he should have. Even though I think Pete did a good job.
Mind you, Percy never had no real. I mean, even though he had a year of Brett Favre, he had no real quarterback.
Yeah, and they had AP and a trash QB. So that is a good point. And 1,000 definitely looks a lot better now that you said that. It really does because not having a quarterback and having a running back that's getting that many carries and getting pretty much 1,000. Or yeah, he had 1,000 also. So but D-Jack was still.
I still say to this day, Adrian Peterson's 2,097 yards is one of the hardest 2,000 yards you will ever come by from a running back because he had nothing.
Whoa!
He had nothing.
Shout out to Marley. Speaking of Adrian Peterson, you'll have to address him getting the pause put on him at the big old home.
AP
table.
can't fight for nothing. I seen that.
I didn't see that.
He
definitely
lost.
Yeah,
go back and look at that. He lost that fight.
Hey, but here's the F dot. That white boy look like he would you is who would help you at Best Buy. That white boy don't even look like somebody you would think would whoop on AP. Like,
yeah,
that's why I'm
that
saying
was a regular guy.
That's what I'm saying. You never underestimate any man. I'm not saying be scared, but don't underestimate anyone because you never know who could knock you out in one punch. You never know. It really doesn't take that much. All it takes
AP do not got no hands, bro.
Yeah, did AP get knocked out in the Boston match? I seen some type of.
He got
against Le'Veon Bell.
Was it Frank Gore?
Le'Veon Bell.
Also, I feel like
Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah.
It was embarrassing. It was so embarrassing.
Yo,
Adrian can't fight, yo. I'm watching this.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't think Adrian.
Fight,
I ain't gonna lie. Have y'all
pathetic.
heard like no funny? As much as we loved him, and he played a little too long. Have y'all ever heard Adrian Peterson talk?
Nah,
it's really like I ain't even trying to be funny. It's really like slurred and like damn man, like wow,
But you saw it on the field. Like I remember as a kid. I'm not saying I watched every game because I was super young, but I remember like seeing highlights or watching the game with my dad or something and being like, yeah, this guy is a free. Like you can just see it. Like with guys like that, you just see the ability that they have. Like I mean, that dude was literally running.
No, watching AP like tape is insane, like, bro. It's like, oh my god, who is this guy? It's like you make him in a lab or something, bro. He didn't seem real. He didn't seem real, bro. Like it was like, what the hell?
But took it over
insane,
the top,
bro.
It's so effortless. Like he just runs.
The speed and the power which this man had, bro, was insane, bro.
But what took it over the top was how he ran because he could juke people. But what he would do is
and would get faster. Like that was insane, bro.
Yeah, at the beginning of the game, though, he wouldn't be trying to juke. He would be running right at you. And then you do that a couple of times, and then that's when he hits the juke out, and then that's when he hits the 45, 50 yards.
Yeah. AP didn't seem real.
He was like one cut. He was like one good. If he saw an instant daylight and he ran so angry, like his arms were pumped so hard. Like, man, it's crazy.
I think LT though had like the best jump cuts. Like jump cuts. When going to the thing, just jump cutting. Oh my god, LT jump.
I'm gonna tell you who actually had the best jump cuts. But it's almost like how we feel about Stevie Johnson being one of the best route runners. Adrian Foster was one of the smoothest running backs. Aaron Foster was one of the smoothest running backs you've ever seen play football.
Yeah.
It was so smooth. He was one cut, get busy. It was so smooth.
Yeah.
He was.
I agree. And he was on a terrible team.
Yeah, unfortunately. Texans.
No, the Texans were good when they got Aaron Foster.
Yeah,
they're getting good. Like, they had JJ Watt when he was doing his thing, bro. Matt Schaub was actually okay. They still had Drake.
They had one Cinderella run. They had one Cinderella run with Matt Schaub, and the rest was just J.J. Watt, Aaron Foster.
See, that's another guy I felt bad for, Andre Johnson, bro. Like, because he was so good, bro.
Yeah,
but he just never. He
But he
put up
made
them
the Hall
kind
of
of
Fame, so it's
stats
all good.
with the crappiest quarterbacks, bro.
Yeah, shout out Andre.
And never got any type of. He never
He made
got
the Hall of
any
Fame,
type
though.
of recognition.
Yeah. Just to be one, second ballot Hall of Famer, which means he only had to wait 1 year, and then 2 for niggas like Trent to say Julio Washington. All that work. All that work with just for a young
really
to say
Julio do
get
watch.
washed.
I
You
do
don't
love
wanna get into
Andre
this
though. I love
conversation,
Andre.
Really. I swear you don't. I swear you don't want to get in this conversation because
I love Andre.
After last summer, I've been waiting for you to get passionate about it, so I can.
Well, listen, we have playback now. So, guys, the next episode, for everybody in the chat, the next episode will be on playback, and we will watch film next Wednesday, 8:30. Playback at Open Field Podcast. Playback. We will be on playback watching film, all 22s, or at least highlights of Andre and then Brandon Marshall. It'll be a receiver highlight reel of Julio, Brandon Marshall, your favorites who you think ain't shit, Marvin Harrison. It will be filmed next week, Wednesday, 8 o'clock. Playback, Open Field Podcast. We will be watching film.
Y'all saying he washes them is insane, bro.
I won't say watch, but it's Julio better than Andre Johnson. And
At what?
Route running,
everything.
No.
Route running.
See, that's the thing. You don't.
We're not gonna
You
have
never
that
seen Andre
conversation if
Johnson
that's
run
what's
routes, bro.
gonna
Like
go.
you're lying.
If we're not gonna,
But I have though, bro. Like,
I don't know.
You haven't, because he's not better at route running than him.
Yeah, he is, bro.
They're the same to me. Like, I won't even say he's better. They're the same. Same way how y'all poo-poo Brandon Marshall. Brandon Marshall was an elite route runner.
And then y'all told me
Brandon Marshall was an elite route runner. He was, for sure. I love him.
No, I'm not saying he was bad. He was great. He was good. He was great. I'm not trying to.
You break it up, bro. You break it up.
All right.
Sometimes we gotta be. Come on, fellas.
All right, B. Say what you want to say though, because you cut out.
Come on, fellas, it's crazy, bro. Brandon Marshall was literally like his release package and his routes were like the best in the league, bro. Like legit, like the best in the league. And then niggas was telling me Brandon Marshall couldn't route run, which is insane.
No,
okay, that's not exactly what they said. We were comparing them to certain guys, and you had a problem with that. That's what it was. And you said,
we brought up Andre Johnson. We brought up Andre Johnson, and y'all immediately poo-pooed him. We didn't even have a conversation about it. It was like next, huh?
I don't be trying to poo-poo the like Andre Johnson.
I'm not trying to poo-poo him either. I'm really not.
Even like when Trent say, oh, Julio got better hands than Marvin Harrison. Well, will you tell me a pass Marvin Harrison dropped?
He does though. Like,
but why? How? How?
Admit that.
How?
Okay.
Because he didn't have to catch the traffic. I'm sorry, my guy had such a great release and such a great separation that he didn't have to catch the traffic.
No. Actually, I don't think Marvin was that bad.
Look at 143 balls in 1 year, Brandon.
We don't think Marvin was that bad. He's top 5 in stats. I don't,
dude.
He ain't that bad. Niggas.
What do you mean?
Marvin.
How about but do this for me, Mike. Name a receiver who's had more catches. Name a receiver who's had more catches in the season than Marvin Harrison.
No. Wait. So I thought. Wait, is your point that he was bad in catch traffic? Or he was great because I thought he was great.
No, my point is, y'all talking about these niggas like they were average or just not shit. Like, bro, if you plug them in today's game, they'd still be top 5 guys. Bro.
Of course, bro. We're not. That's not what we're debating.
Marvin Harrison, because mind you, Marvin Harrison was like real chill. But in today's game, Marvin Harrison would be like fucking. He would be because he would have more soul storm in today's game because he'd have TikTok and all this other shit. Marvin Harrison would be like Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, but people say that he had drop problems. I don't even think it was like that. I think his hands were fine. I think
who the hell is telling you this?
No, I'm saying that's when guys compare him to the best, that's what they talk about a little bit. I'm not saying that like he was a drop heavy guy. He had 100 receptions a lot of years. He was the number 1 guy. I mean, he was also 5'11" doing that at that time. Like he was great, but I think.
1,700 yards, Mike. 1,700 yards in one season.
I think what Julio was is
142 catches, which it took like
20
years. That was a record, by the way.
It's still a record, Brandon. No one's beat it.
But
no. Michael Thomas did.
Oh yeah,
he like 145 or some shit.
The slant demon.
As a contested catcher, Marvin cannot do what Julio does.
You didn't see what he did against the Patriots, against fucking in the
You're talking about one game. I'm talking about who they are as players.
He
One
was
is
a great
5'11",
contested catch guy, bro.
190. The other one is 6
Again, you're
foot what?
comparing to Julio.
How many? And
But
what
Marvin
else?
Harrison didn't
Higher
have
than
to.
anybody?
Marvin Harrison
Okay,
didn't have to.
As far as contested
I
catches.
see where we're going with this. We
It's
fall
levels.
in love with
It's
the
levels
aesthetic
finish.
of a receiver.
But
It's the same
Brandon,
shit
I've
that-
been saying this, Brandon.
it's-
Y'all like the
I
way
see
it
where we're going
look,
with this.
dog. Y'all like
we
the way it
love a
look.
nigga because he's big and tall and fast.
you
That's
guys-
what. Never mind, bro. You know,
I told you,
I see
Brandon.
Yeah, never mind.
I
Never
told
mind.
you,
How
like
Julio-
I already know
Brandon,
where we're going
they
with
will
this.
take Brandon.
You don't
They
you
will
don't like
take.
that you favor
They
receivers
will
who
take
put up
like
another
faces,
guy.
right?
That's
They
what-
will take a guy like Kyrie, right? I love Kyrie, but you'll take a Kyrie because of the way it looked good over a guy like
We just had the
Halliburton,
conversation,
right?
And I said that I don't do that.
But
And
Kyrie
you
is
guys
better than
literally were
Halliburton,
mad at me for saying that too.
Nigga,
But what I'm saying is that you'll take a guy like that over a Halliburton and Gary Payton. But
That's
I'm
not
gonna
how I
take
think.
them guys.
Halliburton- bro. Stop it with the Halliburton.
Come on, bro.
stuff, man.
Brandon, you taking Gary
Halliburton
Payton on
averages
Kyrie?
18 points a game. I'm not
come
trying
on,
to hear.
bro.
I'm
Be
not
for
trying to
real.
hear.
I
it.
ain't gonna lie, Gary Payton, Kyrie. I'm not even.
Dude,
I'm not even thinking
you guys-
twice.
And dude,
Come on, bro.
people acting like
Nah,
Tyrese
bro.
Halliburton and
Come
Steve
on,
Nash
bro.
passing are out of their minds. He's a table setter. He's not throwing dots, fucking, cross court, skipping passes. He's setting up other guys.
Oh, you don't
doing
watch
the
Halliburton? No,
basics.
whoa.
What do
Halliburton.
you mean, dude?
So you saying Halliburton don't be skipping?
I watched
You
their
saying
offense.
Halliburton don't be skipping passes?
He
Nah,
does skip
Halliburton
passes,
be
but
wrong.
not like Steve Nash.
That nigga Halliburton, bro.
Not
Halliburton. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
And you guys always talk about how it's
Halliburton
more
on the
physical.
break
You don't talk
alone.
about-
On the
Oh my
break
God.
alone is Jason Kiddish.
Yeah,
And we
he
being
is.
for real.
He is.
About
He is.
Halliburton like he's Steve Nash. Get out with that stuff. You're the same people to tell me.
I ain't gonna lie,
that
Mike. You can't
back
give me
then,
Steve Nash.
in
I'm
the
be real
early
with you, Mike.
2000s, the
Okay.
defenses were way more physical. That was
Hey, Mike.
everybody says. All the players say. In the
Mike,
early
you're not about to
2000s,
tell two
when Steve
niggas.
Nash was playing.
Brandon,
that was
are you
the
29?
hardest
When you be
player
30,
to play
Brandon?
defense.
Did
Look
you
at how
turn
he's
30
playing
yet?
defense.
Next year.
He knows I'm cooking.
Next
his
year.
ass.
You're not about to tell niggas who are basically 30 about Steve Nash. I'm just being honest with you, bro. You're not
But
about
you don't
like
give
we
him
lived in the
credit
era
for
where we
being
know
in this era.
Steve
You
Nash.
don't give him credit for that. You don't
Steve
give him
Nash was a
credit.
great. Whoa. Steve Nash was a great sister. You're right. But we live in an era where every
He averaged
nigga
more
in my
points than
era,
Halliburton in his prime,
every
too.
nigga in my era know he stole 2 MVPs.
Yeah,
man.
he did not deserve
Okay,
MVP.
just because you don't like him,
He did not
just
He
because
deserve
you
stole
don't
Shaq
like him-
and Kobe MVPs, nigga.
So just because you don't like him, you're putting Tyrese Halliburton over him when you know it's not true.
I didn't.
You
First of all, I
dead
never
ass
even. Hold.
I
I
ain't
never
gonna lie,
even.
Mike, you have the nerve to sit there and say you don't like it. Bro, there's niggas that are great that you just don't fucking like them and you downplay them like they ain't shit.
No,
Like, bro,
I'm not
you do that
saying I
shit all the
don't. I'm not
time,
saying
nigga.
that-
Don't try to
Mind
act
you,
like you
that I
don't. Don't try
I'm
like
not
you
At
don't.
no point in time
I'm
did
not
I ever
saying
say that I
I'm not
had
perfect.
Halliburton
I have my
over
opinions,
Steve
bro.
Nash.
I'm
What
still
I'm
not-
saying to you is this. In their careers, if Halliburton continues to do what he's doing now and he plays another 10 to 12 years, right, on top of what he's done already, and he gives you he gives you a bowl this year, he gives you a win just one win, just this one, and he continues to do what he do, that 20 and 12 type numbers for the rest of the year, he might get an MVP somewhere down the line. Dog, I'm taking Halliburton over Steve Nash.
The act that Tyrese
I mean,
Halliburton.
yeah, if he does that, though.
And I'm gonna tell you why. Because here's what happens, Mike. Here's what happens, guys, like Steve Nash. And it happens every year.
He had to go against San Antonio. He had to
It
go
happens
against all these,
every
he had to go against
year.
all these teams. And you're
You're right,
sitting
you're
there
right,
telling
you're right,
me
you're right.
He beat a Bucks
You're right,
with
you're
Giannis
right.
and Dame, who sucked. Then
You're
he
right.
beat the Knicks.
But
who
here's what-
poorly folded.
But
and
here's-
they
but
lost
Mike-
to Boston.
Mike, here's what
they
happens
outgrew the
every
good
year,
run,
though,
and
to
also
guys
they
like
have the most
Steve
balanced
Nash.
team. So
If
I'm
you
not-
watch basketball, Mike, the way I watch basketball, here's what happened to guys like Steve Nash every year. As the playoffs get deeper, Steve Nash, Trey. Hold on, let me finish.
Better. No, because
Let
you're
me-
talking is BS, bro. Tyrese.
You're talking about niggas you need to watch play. I'm be honest with you. When it comes to
I hate y'all niggas.
nah, I'm being for real. When it comes to, and I watched it year after year, and Brandon will agree.
You're
The Trey Youngs, the Steve Nash, you saw with Jalen Brunson last year. Bro, can I finish? Those guys get exposed. I know you're lying because Tyrese Halliburton plays better defense than every nigga I just named. You're lying, bro.
Absolutely.
You're lying.
How much?
Steve
By
Nash
how
wasn't
much?
shit on defense. Stop.
Tyrese.
When
Halliburton-
they got deeper in the playoffs, they used to pick on him.
Oh my God. So
He was
Mike,
the reason
there's
they
a
lost.
difference between- There's a difference between being a C+ defender and to be a F fucking minus defender,
bro,
bro.
but he's better
Steve
off.
Nash
Brandon.
was shit on defense,
He's
bro.
better off.
Brandon, last year in the Super in the finals last year, Brandon, right? Brandon, last year in the finals, right? Luka helped the Mavericks get all the way to the finals, right? And then when they went against a team who was just as good, what did the F dot? What did the Celtics do to Luka the entire time?
Because MC, we've been talking in the.
You think that was bad F dot?
Dude,
Nigga, what the Lakers and the Spurs used to do to Steve Nash is way worse.
Nah, bro.
It was literally bully ball.
That shit was barbecue chicken, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. That shit was barbecue chicken.
Dude.
We want the little ass European nigga every time.
I can't. You're talking about in the playoffs. He's going against the Spurs. He's going against the Lakers. No, not the Lakers, but he's going.
Mike,
against
he would
the
get
Spurs.
barbecue fried in
He's
regular
going
season
against,
too, nigga.
He's going against
I ain't like that
better
Spurs
teams,
team.
bro. Halliburton's in the freaking East, and the East has been whack for 20 years. I'm not trying to hear y'all. He doesn't play anybody.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I just watched that nigga in this run. Hold up. Now we being weird. Cause I watched that nigga in this run alone go through future Hall of Famers, dog. Literally, dog, went through Giannis. Went through Giannis.
Yeah, legit.
Team. No, he
went through Jalen Brunson, who y'all literally love. And Cat. Who else he play? Who else he go to?
He's not even the best player on his team, bro.
No, it's another one. Who I'm missing?
He's not even the best player on his team. So y'all are ridiculous with that. I'm dumb.
That team is, but honestly, the Pacers, the whole team been great. But
he's not
okay. So watch what I do to him, Brandon. Watch what I do to him, Brandon. So Siakam's better, right? So you can say basically Siakam is Halliburton's Amari Stoudemire.
No, that does what? How does that make sense? Their team is way better as a whole. You're pinning down to two players when the Pacers have the most balanced team in the NBA.
Ho. You don't know ball. Ho. This will be Mike, Brandon, before you go, Brandon, because we caught you already with that Miles Turner versus Hartenstein shit. You just told me that this Pacer team was better than that Suns team with Joe Johnson, with Sean Marion, with Leonardo Barbosa. Like, that what you're telling me?
Yes, is better than Barbosa.
I think that's a good combo right there,
bro.
That Suns team was great.
You know he is.
You know how many all defensive players Sean Marion had? All-star Sean Marion had. Like at one point, Amari Stoudemire was a top 3 to 5 power forward. Bro, you're not making no sense, dog.
All right, but hold on. But get back to the football though. To get back to football, I understand we all love Julio and blah 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 this and that, but to sit there and shit on Andre Johnson, who, mind you, put up the same. Stop, because you are. You are. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why you are. You talk about Andre Johnson like you're a casual guy. He put up the same exact amount of stats that Julio did with nobody's at quarterback. That's number one. Number two, this thing Martin Harrison wasn't that good and all that, this and that. He does have one of those. And mind you, also Andre Johnson played in the early 2000s. So let's not act like they're not different eras here. That's number two. And number three,
not to mention y'all have gotten so nasty.
For Steve Nash, it doesn't matter.
Here's the most important one, Brandon. Y'all have gotten so nasty that now we're gonna shit on the MVP to make Julio look good. We'll shit on the MVP to make Julio look good now.
Yeah, that's insane.
So Julio couldn't do what he did with any top 10 quarterback?
Yeah, that's
what?
You hear what you just said? Hear what you just said? Hear what you just said?
Top 10 quarterback. When did Andre have a top 10 quarterback?
Andre didn't have any.
When did Brandon Marshall have a top 10 quarterback?
Mike, you don't even have to say top 10. Julio's doing that with any quarterback. It doesn't matter.
Now you full of shit. Now you full of shit. Now you full of shit. Now you being unfair.
Same thing, Andre Johnson.
So why? And also, he has.
So who's the quarterback? Who's the quarterback play in that era that compares to what Andre Johnson had? Because let me think of a quarterback who wasn't shit in that era. Why I can say, does Julio do it with them?
You're so mad. And yards on your Panthers.
Who played for too long?
Because
does Julio do that with
the most dominant stretch of any receiver in the 2010s? The most dominant.
He also had MVP. Brandon, give me Brandon. Who wouldn't shit
besides AB?
Does he do that? Hold up. Does he do that with a bunch of years of Matt Moore?
I
Absolutely
mean, he
not.
doesn't do
Get
exactly
1,100
what he
yards?
did, but he's getting a lot of yards.
No, I'm talking about that 1,800 yards. Because Andre's put up 1,500 yard season. So does he do that with Matt Moore?
300 yards in a
Is
game.
Matt
So he
Moore
puts
worse
up
than
1,800 with Matt Moore.
I
What?
think a guy that's
Is
putting
Matt
up
Moore worse than Matt
300
Schaub?
yards in a game.
Matt
Matt Moore
Schaub.
is
That guy can get
significant.
1,300
Matt
yards
Moore
if
is dead.
But hold up, you just bringing up Matt Schaub.
Matt
Nigga,
Moore
they
is
got a couple years of Matt Schaub. Name the other niggas he played with.
No, I was
You
just
can't.
I was
You
just
can't.
trying.
No, they were trash.
You can't.
No,
They
they
were
were all
trash.
trash.
They were trash.
They were all
Sad
trash.
thing, y'all
So you
shit
don't
on
think-
Brandon
you don't
Marshall.
think-
Brandon
So you're
Marshall
saying-
actually put up 1,300 yards with
saying-
Matt Moore. Brandon Marshall made Ryan Fitzpatrick like an actual
So
serviceable quarterback.
Yeah.
So B, is Julio
If
better
Brandon
than
Marshall
Brandon
can do that,
Marshall, or
then
no?
there's no way
Is Brandon Marshall
Is
better
that
than
what?
Julio? B, is Brandon Marshall better than Julio?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
done with
sorry.
this conversation,
Absolutely.
bro. Let's move on. Because
Absolutely.
that's
He's a
just
better
like
he's a better route runner, better red zone
complete
guy.
bullshit.
Hands just as good. Like he
This
wasn't
is
as fast as
complete
Julio,
bullshit.
but like he was legit amazing.
Didn't have Julio's speed, of course not. Julio is more athletic than Brandon Marshall.
But he
I'm
also
not
was good
knocking
at
Brandon Marshall.
after the
Brandon
But if we
Marshall's
talking about
overrated.
Brandon Marshall had better hands than Julio.
He put
Yeah,
up
yeah,
real
better hands.
numbers.
That's it. I'm
And
not.
he's
I'm
that
not.
guy.
Brandon
Better red
Marshall
zone
was-
threat.
It was a better route. I'll give him better route running.
Better off the line, bigger receiver, bigger, stronger
release tags,
receiver.
too.
Actually used his size the way
No,
you should.
I'm just not debating this. Like you guys are just wrong, and that's fine. I'm
You
not
acting
debating
like it's a
because
clear, and that's
you guys are
insane,
super
bro.
disingenuous.
When mind you,
with
these
who
guys
Julio
put up the
was.
same exact
Because
numbers.
Early specifically
with
hates that
bad
he put up
quarterbacks.
300 yards. He hates that he put up the game record on the Panthers. That's why you won't give Julio the respect.
No. I've told you
No,
before.
it's
I
not
told you
even
before.
that. It's not even
I've told you
that,
before.
Mike.
It's everything y'all. If he's who y'all say he is, he would have more touchdowns. That's one. And then here's the thing that bothers me
Here's the
so much.
touchdown shit again. All right.
Because this is what Trent does. I always do this shit. I said, would you rather have Chris Carter's 1,400 yards and 17 touchdowns, or would you rather have Julio's 1,800 yards and 8
Julio
touchdowns?
doesn't mean more.
Like, I'm taking. When does touchdowns not matter no more, Brandon?
No, it
what I'm
matters,
saying.
but I'm not saying that it doesn't matter. I'm saying
So again, you would take Julio.
Offense.
You would take
What's more
Julio's
important than
1,800
Chris
yards, which is just a bunch of stats. It's literally just putting them numbers, and I think 8 touchdowns a year,
But like,
6
you gotta
touchdowns
look
a
at the
year.
games where he's
That is a
dominating
lie.
though. Like
That
half
is
of
a
those
lie.
games, he's dead ass is taking.
So
the game.
again, you
That
would
is a
rather take
lie.
Julio's
That- you're
1,800
saying that
yards
doesn't
and
matter?
6 touchdowns
Putting up 18
over
that's a
1,400
lie.
yards and 17 touchdowns.
But early,
So Brandon,
early,
you rather
early.
have 4,000 more? I mean, you have 400 more yards, or you rather have 11 more touchdowns?
But is he not leading to them like to get to the touchdown? He
How
might
are
not be
you
the one
saying
scoring,
those
but
are empty
he's
stats?
definitely.
Again, Brandon,
And
you would
another-
rather have
bro,
400 more
and y'all-
yards, or would you
hold
rather
on,
have
hold on.
11 more touchdowns?
I just don't understand this argument.
Hold
The
on.
touchdown,
Y'all
you know
are
how dominant you say
also-
Julio is, right? Watch this. You say
Julio
Julio's so
was
dominant, but do you realize touchdowns actually help your team win games?
I'd rather be more dominant in the game.
Dude,
And it's so.
Julio was a
So
counter.
it's
Nah,
scoring
nah,
7% of the season not dominant, Brandon?
Hold
That's
on,
dominant.
hold on,
That's
hold on.
dominant.
Hold
I'm
on,
not
hold
saying
on.
it's not.
So
I'm saying
Andre Johnson wasn't dominant to you because of what?
No, we're not comparing Andre Johnson. Andre Johnson is dominant. He's a dominant player.
Julio was a
Again,
counter.
we're
for
Brandon
comparing
Marshall was also
Andre
dominant.
Johnson.
Brandon
He
Marshall
was
was also
dominant
dominant.
too. But we're comparing those two niggas to a Julio who was more dominant than both those players in their time.
How is he more dominant? How is he more dominant?
What do you mean?
Because he had a better quarterback, Brandon. Because he had a better quarterback, Brandon. That's
No,
why.
not even that.
That's
Not even
literally
that.
why.
Not even that.
Because he had a better quarterback.
Not even that.
He's
Not even that. Hold on.
How do you
how's he
say
more
that
dominant?
when he's accounting for 60 to 70% of the passing yardage? Like, bro,
Yeah.
he is
No,
bringing them
how
down
is he
the
more
field to
dominant?
score
How is he more dominant? How is he more
single-handedly.
dominant?
Matt
How is he
Ryan,
more dominant?
Matt Ryan, and Julio Jones.
There
were
was never a
single-handedly-
season where Julio accounted for 60%. You hear what you said? The year he had 1,800 yards, I think Matt Ryan had 5,000 yards. Do you know the numbers? What the numbers look like? 18
It
and
wasn't
50
60,
is
but
not
you're
fucking
acting
60%.
You're acting like that doesn't matter because it's just empty stats because it's yards.
But we
When
acting
he's
like it
not
don't
on-
matter. Hold on.
He's not on that team. No.
But we acting like it don't matter when you playing for the early 2000s when you can get your head knocked off.
You just
This
said
is
it
not
didn't
the
matter
early
for Steve
2000s
Nash,
no
so I don't
more. You're
care.
not doing
You just
that.
said it didn't matter for
So
Steve
with a
Nash,
bad
and you know
quarterback
the
playing in the early
2000s.
2000s, when you get your head, your head got to be on the swivel. You can't even go over the middle because Ray Lewis and Brian Urlacher and them gonna kill you. But he's still putting up 1,500 yards, bro. 1,500 yards was 1,800 back then. So we acting like these niggas weren't dominant. What are you talking about? With bad quarterback play. Nobody had a Matt Ryan. Brandon Marshall did not have a Matt Ryan, and Andre Johnson didn't have a Matt Ryan. How is these niggas more dominant? In a better situation.
In my opinion, but
You
I'm not
just
gonna
Because
said.
you'll say this. You'll say Julio still puts in the numbers. Then what they do though? They'll say Julio puts in the numbers with the bullshit quarterback. But what does Brandon Marshall or Andre Johnson do with Matt Ryan?
You do the
Not
same.
what he
He like
does. Not what
1,700
he
yards.
does.
Maybe
No,
1,500
he
yards.
doesn't do what he does. No, he doesn't.
Wow.
Do
I think Andre Johnson might be.
You don't think
I
Andre Johnson's 300 more yards with an MVP quarterback?
I think
No, but
I think Andre Johnson might, but not
Mind you,
Brandon
with
Marshall.
shitty quarterbacks.
Not
All
Brandon
right,
Marshall.
you lying.
Not Brandon Marshall.
You lying.
Okay, you
Oh,
can say
okay.
I think Andre Johnson would. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
my
not Brandon
point
Marshall,
is-
huh?
My point is, when you
I mean, he
bring
might
up
get
the
a little
early
close,
2000s,
but
this
like-
is why I say it's
So
disrespectful.
without
No.
Brandon Marshall, literally 3 seasons of 1,500
You just
yards
won't let me get my
and
take off.
10 more TDs.
You
3
niggas
seasons.
disgust me, bro.
Dude,
I ain't gonna lie to you.
dude.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead, Mike.
Go ahead,
Mike. Go ahead, Mike.
You're doing the same thing,
wait,
bro.
just let me
And
gather
you,
my
and you
thoughts.
just not saying
Just
something. They
gather
don't
my
impress
thoughts.
you at all. With shitty quarterback play. All right,
No, it
I see what you
does.
do,
Oh
bro.
my!
I see what you do. When we like a nigga, we gonna praise him and lie. But we don't like another nigga, we just go, all right.
Bro, it's not even I don't like, bro.
I
Brandon
can't help
Marshall,
you, dog. I can't help y'all no more.
Andre Johnson. I love both of those players.
I like Julio. I do like
I really
Julio.
do,
That's
bro.
the problem.
I
I do
really
like
wanna- I don't
Julio.
wanna
Okay, not you.
I think he's top 10. I think he's top 10 all time. I do like Julio.
No, not you.
But we gonna
not
show
you.
some respect to some early 2000
Andre
niggas
top
with
10. I
shit
think
quarterback
Andre
play
top
and
10.
getting their head
I think
knocked
Andre
off.
top
We're not doing that. I like Julio. Don't do that. I like Julio and I like AJ Green when they came out. They were amazing to me.
AJ Green a beast too.
So you have Julio top 10, but you have Andre and Brandon ranked higher.
Yes.
Okay. No, I'm just clarifying that. But no, the one thing that I'll say is the reason why I just don't care about this early 2000s is because you know damn well, you guys both know damn well, you watched them more than me, that the early 2000s was the hardest time to play offense in the NBA in the history of the league. It was the hardest when you talk about skill and skill and physicality. And you said it didn't matter for Steve Nash. So if you're saying it didn't matter for Steve Nash, how am I gonna?
I ain't talking about no Steve Nash. I'm talking about the early 2000s in the NFL, bro. That shit was insane.
It's the same concept.
Marvin Harrison put up 1,700 yards.
Can I be real with you though? Let's be real though, Mike. What does Steve Nash do that Halliburton can't do?
I just think Steve Nash was better at what they both do well. That's it. I think
shooter. He better shooter. I'll give you that.
But mind you, Brandon Marshall. Mind you, Brandon. I said Brandon Marshall. Mind you, Brandon. Halliburton at shooting ain't no fucking slouch.
No,
nigga. Let me tell you something. I went to for all my guys from the DMV. I was in VA the other day. Went to go watch the game. Shout out to the Pacers for going to Game 7. I went to Lucky Strike out there in VA in Crystal City, not too far from Pentagon City, right? We playing basketball. We got the little youngest, so we didn't swipe the card for the little youngest with their mom. It's like 4 little homies with their mom. So me and my man, we playing basketball with them. You know what them niggas was saying when they was making shots? Halliburton. I said, oh, shit changed. Shit is changed.
I mean, I don't care about that, though. I don't care
it used to be Kobe. It was KD. Them niggas is like Halliburton. I said, oh, shit.
Yellow. I don't care about the face of the NBA.
Niggas said Halliburton. I said, no.
All right, I know we're deviating back in the NBA, but the reason why I don't care about the face of the NBA because every single face of the NBA dealt with such a ridiculous amount of scrutiny that it was almost to the point, besides really Jordan, that dudes didn't even really actually they are ungrateful for what they saw with Kobe specifically, because people always talked about how Kobe didn't pass. They always talked about the negative parts of his game, but they never talked about that he was like that on defense and he was giving you buckets. And
I think Kobe's biggest problem is that them 3 years of Shaq, a lot of people play with him.
Which is BS, dude. Because Shaq didn't win it by himself in Orlando. So how are you going to sit there and say that he got carried by Shaq when Shaq didn't do it with Penny? Shaq did it with Kobe because Kobe was that guy.
Whoa. Get something very clear. You can't say that because let's be for real. This is why you can't say that, because let's be for real. Although Shaq literally comes to the Shaq comes to Orlando franchise who wasn't shit, and literally within the first 2 years with him and Penny, they literally go to the finals.
But dude,
everybody knows. Hold on, let me finish. I'm gonna be quiet. Everybody knows if Orlando, because what happened was Orlando's decided Shaq wasn't worth $100 million, which is some bullshit. If Orlando keeps Shaq and Penny, there is no Kobe and Shaq because him and Penny win a couple championships, though.
True. True. Well, if Penny stays healthy, which he could have.
Penny only didn't stay healthy.
Do as much, and then
Now let me give you some game. Only reason Penny didn't stay healthy is because when Shaq left, and
It's a
dog, just
hard
do your
hand.
research, they made that
I don't know,
nigga
he was averaging like
LeBron,
23
and
a
he
year.
didn't have the body to be LeBron. They wanted Penny to be fucking literally like what LeBron was. They wanted Penny to be fucking 10 rebounds,
Yeah, I
10
know. He was
assists. Like
averaging like
Penny couldn't bang
24
on the board. They had Penny damn near playing power forward when Shaq left. And Penny only reason Penny body wore down because they wore him out. Once Shaq left, he had to fucking play big and he couldn't do that. If he
Right.
kept Shaq,
And
he
he
would
would have
never
been a
had to
better
bang with
shooter
them
too.
fucking. They got Penny banging with small forwards and power forwards. He would have never had to do that if he kept Shaq.
But to your point, if he was with Shaq, he would have become a better shooter because he would have got more open shots.
His mid range was already money,
when you have to
and
be
his 3-pointer was
Mid-range.
development.
when you have to be
Yeah, that midi
LeBron, when
clear.
you have to be Grant Hill, when you have to be Penny Hardaway without Shaq, it's hard to be a good shooter. It's just hard. You're just doing too much on the court. It's really hard.
Really,
Like,
especially
and
in
it
that,
takes a long time. It takes like 5 or 6. LeBron, it took like 6 years, probably maybe 7. Like right around the time he got to Miami was when he started getting a little bit above league average, just shooting. I mean, the mid range he had, but 3 specifically. And then, now, I mean, he's shooting like almost 40%. So like, it just depends on the player. But yeah, I agree. But I still think that those teams that they had with Shaq and Penny, they were young, but they were good. You had Dennis Johnson. You had pieces around them to where they could have maximized it. The problem was they just ran into Hakeem, and they ran into a team that was just as deep as them, and not if not.
But
more.
again, that was their early phase. If you give them,
I know,
the next 5 seasons, they get at least 2 or 3 out of them next 5 seasons. Because they were young. You understand? They were in their early 20s
but
when
they
that
both
happened.
would have gotten paid, and then guys would have left, and then would the Magic have actually? But if you would have supplied them a team that could have won, like, and that's not saying like a great team. I'm just saying if you supplied just fine pieces, they probably win. Yeah.
But you would have been
let's
able to
not
find
act
pieces.
like-
You'd have been able to find pieces because with your nucleus being you can always go grab pieces. Literally, you could literally the way the contract was set up. If you sign Shaq and you don't bullshit, you get at least 3 more years of that off the rip, contract wise. Dog, damn it, I had a 3.4. I hate, damn, I gotta have. I be trying to average 3.8 and call in NCAA because I want to have my senior year with no school, but I fuck around and didn't study this year and got a 3.4. Fuck.
Right.
But yeah, now like, I just think that with Penny, I think that there would be no Kobe if Penny comes if Penny stays with Shaq because dog him and niggas don't only understand what Penny was like. Dog, Penny was the next
He's
one.
not
like,
winning 5
He was
rings,
nice,
but he's
bro.
still
He
Kobe.
got one of
dude.
the
He could
smoothest
win 3.
handles.
He could win
Can
2
get to
rings
the
to be
paint.
Kobe. Dude, look at the way we look at Steph. Like, come on, Kobe's.
yeah,
offense is better
but
than
Steph didn't get his
Not
respect.
close, bro.
Steph
Even
didn't get his respect
take
truly
out
until he won
Shaq,
that last
bro.
one. That
Take
last
out
one,
Shaq. Kobe was
really
averaging
respect.
30 plus in the playoffs with
Yeah,
nobody.
2022, I ain't gonna lie. Curry went up on that
That's
year.
one though. That's one. Kobe had that for multiple times. And Kobe, when he was at his peak, when he was averaging 30 plus in the playoffs, had dog water around him and still beat teams like the Suns and still fought against teams like the Spurs that were way better than them. Also,
no, that ain't true. Kobe went to a phrase when he had nobody around him where he was just putting them
That's
numbers,
what
but
I'm saying.
they asses whipped.
That was like 15
no,
plus.
I know, but when they beat, but when they beat,
Once he got Paul Gasol, Andrew Bottom, and then Lamar stepped up, then nigga he started winning again.
well, they didn't have Gasol. I think. Well, yeah, no, I don't think they had.
That's it.
Gasol.
Once he got him, he started winning. But when he was by
Like,
himself, he wasn't doing shit.
The one where he got the buzzer beater off the tip or something like that. He didn't have Gasol that year when they beat the Suns. I don't think they did. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was before.
Did they have Gasol that year?
I think that was the last year or one of the last years before they did. I could be wrong. Because I watched that a very long time ago when I was a young child. But yeah, I just think Kobe too. When you talk about those teams when they won, I mean, no guy on their team was under 6'6", except for Derek Fisher, and he was one of the best guards defensively in the league. And then also, the one thing though is that they were hack-a-Shaq and Shaq, and with that, when he wasn't as confident with the ball in his hands because he was getting hack-a-Shaq to death, now the spacing is screwed up, and Kobe has to go get buckets, and that's what he did. There was, multiple games. That's why he averaged 30 plus with Shaq, even though Shaq was still averaging 25 because the spacing was screwed when he was getting hack-a-Shaq, and Kobe made up for that. So I just think.
Also, if you watch the game, if you watch the games,
Kobe like
nigga,
top
Kobe
4.
was getting
No,
one-on-one coverage, nigga. Like Shaq was
dude,
getting triple teamed.
Yeah, god damn, boy.
at that
was
time,
crazy.
yeah, but some guy still has to step up. Like when a guy is the second option, I'm not saying that it's as impressive as being a number one option and winning the title. All I'm saying is that there's a reason why they won with that, and that's backed up in the fact that he had 30+ performances with Shaq. But no one's here.
But
No one's here doubting. Shaq
it's
was
just like Kyrie
better.
though. It's just like
Shaq
Kyrie
was
though,
definitely
Mike.
the better player. There's no
When Kyrie's by himself, he don't like. Let's be real. As great as he is when he's by himself,
dude.
and he got to be number one target. No, I'm saying it's just like Kyrie when someone there's about to be number two. Like Kobe
Yeah.
was able to get off because he had a number one who could get busy. I'm talking about his first couple years because then when Kobe can't cope, we know. But I'm saying what I'm saying is that it's like Kyrie, right? Kyrie don't do shit when he got to be the number one option. When Kyrie can play off KD, when he can play off Luka, we can play off LeBron. Kyrie's fucking amazing. But the moment he has to be number one, you saw it. No funny, even this year, dog.
Dame
The
is
moment
better
they
as
traded
a
Luka,
number
he had to be
one.
number one. Got hurt.
Dame is better as a number one, and that's facts.
Absolutely.
Give Dame that Boston team.
But to be fair, I feel like
he's
Dame
also
was
not
kind of
leaving.
used to being the number one, like more than Kyrie was. He had more of an opportunity.
Dame wins the championship with that LeBron thing.
I ain't trying to slander Kyrie at all.
No,
and it's
no,
not
no.
even the fact that skill wise, and I think he's a better defender than Dame too.
Yeah.
But I just think Dame was just able to, carry more of a load for the offense than Kyrie was. He's just, I don't know if it's durability or what, but and Kyrie was averaging, 25, 26 and all that stuff, but that was on the Nets with KD and James with him. Dame was averaging 26 and 7 at 24 years old. I know you probably know this early, but a lot of people don't realize when Batum, Wesley Matthews, Robin Lopez, Marcus Aldridge, all those guys left, right? We had Mo Harkless, Al-Farouq Aminu,
Mo Harkless,
Ed Davis.
Hey, Maurice was my dog.
Nobody.
I love me some Maurice Harkless.
Everybody thought we were going to be a top 5 pick, and we caught in the 8th seed, and then we beat the Clippers because Chris Paul and Blake Griffin got hurt. So, I mean,
mind you, Mike, as a Portland guy, if Brandon Roy don't get hurt and Greg Oden don't get hurt, you niggas would have had.
You don't even have Dame.
You niggas would have had Greg, LaMarcus, Brandon Roy, and Dame. Y'all ran the fucking West.
Oh my god, Brandon Roy, man.
As much as I love Dame, I'm damn near him and Clyde are, but I it's so hard for me not to put Dame over Clyde. It's just really hard, and I'll do the longevity.
I love Clyde too, though.
I'll do the longevity for that. I mean the longevity is the same, obviously.
Well, you young too, so you was able to really see Dame, and it just mean more to you. I wouldn't believe if you said you took Clyde over Dame, because I'd be like, you full of shit.
But Clyde was that guy, though. I'm not trying to
Yeah, but I respect you both for saying Dame, because if you said Clyde, you be lying.
Yeah.
You don't know Clyde's game.
Yeah, but
I ain't lying. I used to watch a little Clyde though, bro. I was a basketball head, man.
What I'm saying is that I'm just saying that I'm for instance, right? There gonna be some niggas right now my nephew is 11 years old, right? Adam, he loved basketball. He's going to grow up, and he's gonna, when I bring up OKC, I'm gonna say Russ. He gonna say SGA.
Right.
And if he say Russ, he lying. Because you don't know Russ. And that's okay.
But I know
whether you did your research or not, nigga, your heart is with SGA.
I know I'm saying SGA, and I know who Russ was. I'm saying SGA.
I love SGA, but nobody fucking with Prime Russ. I don't care.
No, I'm sorry.
Prime Russ the best.
I know that you guys are going to hate it. And
Prime Rush just put up stats, but I'm gonna lie to you. He didn't actually win.
Oh, come on, though, bro. Some teams, bro.
Stop it. I thought he didn't win.
But those teams, though, come on, bro. Especially after KD left, the year where he averaged a triple-double, he carried them to the
playoffs. And we being for real, Russ low-key ran niggas off, though.
Exactly. That's why I don't. That's why. When I look,
even Vic was like, he loved Russ, but he was like, bro, he had to get out of there, bro. Russ was like, holding niggas back, dog.
Dude, there's a reason. I'm sorry, and Russ played better than KD when they blew that 3-1 lead. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Russ was frying.
There's
a reason why KD left, and it wasn't because he didn't mess with Russ. I don't think it was a personal thing. I think he kind of realized Russ gets in his own way. I seen Russ play a lot.
No, seriously.
I love Russ. Transition, no one's stopping him. There's just nobody.
There was a time where Russ
if you
couldn't be
give him a good
stopped
screen,
transitionally.
Literally.
if you give
And he
him a
could
good
shoot
screen,
back in the
good
G,
luck.
bro. Niggas, man.
If you give him a good screen, good luck. But there's about 10 to 12 possessions in the game where he's gonna ISO and he's gonna step up to the elbow and he's gonna either take a bad shot that he's most likely gonna miss, or he's going to try to euro and turnover. And I understand that, yes, he was averaging a triple double. He's gonna turn the ball over. But to me, I mean, I know Russ had some really good years in the playoffs early in his career, but I saw the series against Damon Russ. I saw that series, and I saw he was the better player. And you can argue that Russ is a little bit over the hill, and I might even give you that a little bit, but he wasn't really. He was just in the back end of his prime. I just think – I don't know if he really – I just think he was a little bit better a couple years before. But, I mean, Dame dominated his ass. And there was – and he was
Dame dominated for sure.
not –
Yeah, Dame used to man. He used to win that
but
LA
Dame
battle.
in the playoffs, Dame's a never playoff riser though. Like when he get in the playoffs, he
at least for the first round or two, because as the rounds got deeper, dog, he would fizzle out.
At that point.
He would fizzle out because like he would literally be averaging 30 plus in the first round.
Dame's a product of that OKC run. I mean that Thunder run. I mean that Golden State run. But like, dog, they just couldn't get through. If Thunder wasn't there, Dame would probably have at least one championship, dog.
Dude, that conference finals was literally like somebody trying to swim up a river.
Especially that KD finals. Like, it just wasn't fair, dog.
That conference
the KD finals, those 2 years
without KD. No, they swept us without KD too. They swept us without him.
Oh, for real?
And yes. They swept us without him.
But I'm saying once they got KD, it was like, all right, now we really
still better. That's what I'm saying. There was because that year Nurkic broke his leg that year. Nurkic wasn't that good, but he was just not the same. He was like 15-10, and I would say that's a little bit misleading with the stats. Like he was all right, but he was pretty good, and they had no center. So
Nurkic was solid though. He's always been a bonehead. He's always been an idiot though.
Yeah, but he broke his leg really bad when he got there. When he got there, he had his stretch. When he got traded, he averaged 15-10. He wasn't even playing in Denver. And I was like, dude, this kid's going to be great. Like, he was young. Well, obviously, I didn't say kid, but, like, he was young. He broke his leg. He came back. He couldn't even dunk.
There was a time when Nurkic was better than Jokic.
Yeah.
There was a time when he was the number one and Jokic was the backup.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, because
it wasn't for too long, but it was the time.
You hear what Mike Miller said about Jokic, though? He knew from day one. He just had a terrible body. He said, I knew he was going to be one of the best basketball in the world. He just had a terrible body. So he couldn't be good as a rookie, really. But he wasn't bad as a rookie.
But you seen Jokic growing up, that nigga, he always been a tubby boy.
Yeah.
Dude, he was obese at one point, low key.
I think he just understands his body, bro. He knows
his body size. I mean, there's one photo of him at like 10 or 12 right now. The dude looks like he was like close to 200 pounds.
I hate guarding them type of niggas in basketball too, bro, because they are slippery. They slip off you and they just hella unorthodox.
But like, I'm gonna be real with you. What KG said, and we'll get out of here pretty soon, guys. What KG said made a lot of sense. Niggas don't be trying to don't be trying to smell Jokic cologne, and that's the problem that bothered me, dog. Like, there's no way I'm letting a nigga 7 foot, 285, 300 pounds come to the court with the ball, bro. No, bro. No.
Because I think honestly,
I'm meeting that nigga at the summit. If SGA get tired, I know Jokic gonna get tired.
Yeah,
I think it's a combination of a couple things.
You gotta have a nigga who gonna say, dog, the moment you touch the ball, I'm stalking you, bro. You're not. So by the fourth quarter, you're going to be huffing and puffing.
Yeah.
I feel like people are legit.
You see what Alex Caruso did to him? No. I mean, he's still Jokic, but like Alex was like, dog, you're not about to bring this ball up here on some bullshit.
I'm picking you up full court, bro, and you gonna walk me down this fucking court. Every possession I'm in the game.
Yeah, I just feel like the way he plays and how he looks and how slow he is, like it's legit intimidating for these guys because they just don't like they understand it, but they really don't understand how he's that good.
If you give Jokic, I had this conversation on PC one time. If you give Jokic, I want to see somebody crazy. You give Jokic, it ain't got to be Dwight. It ain't got to be. If you give Jokic,
I don't know if he could. Are you saying if he plays the 4?
No. If you give Jokic, who ain't crazy, but it's good enough.
You mean like a good rim protector?
No. You give Jokic. Who can I say that's like it was pretty damn good. It wasn't amazing, but it
What
was pretty
position?
damn good. Just you give Jokic that
Like,
fuck it. You give Jokic Tyson Chandler's athleticism, it's a wrap.
Oh, I see.
oh
Where you're
yeah, even like a JaVale McGee,
Well,
bro.
because he just can't. Yeah. That's the
It's
thing.
a
People,
wrap.
people think that like I feel like
He
the way
would literally be Shaq.
like people talk about Jokic's defense like he doesn't try. When I legitimately just think people don't understand how limited he is as a jumper. He just can't jump with any of
Let me
these.
No,
say,
no, literally, dog.
He
he's
just can't
Like,
do it.
and you see it in this
He's
series
super
because that
strong,
shit
but
that Shea was getting off in the paint, they can't get it off against Miles Turner. Like,
they can't. But
dog,
Jokic,
Jokic really, bro. I ain't gonna lie. As great as he is, dog, he is such a fucking negative at rim protecting, dog.
but
Like, I don't understand why
offensively,
when teams play him, I don't understand why teams just don't take him to the cup because he
well,
don't even
because
he don't even contest. Like, he'll put his body there, but he don't
but you know
actually
why
contest
though?
shots, bro.
Here's my thing on that.
they got
That's
a lot of help
because
though there.
they got help, and it also
Yeah.
Mike Malone severely underrated as a head coach in just finding ways to get Jokic away from that and just find a way for him to play effective defense. Like that was the goal on defense. We're gonna find a way because we know that our defenders aren't the best. Like they're not super locked down, but MPJ can do. MPJ's not like he's low key liability, but he's not that bad. Aaron Gordon is good. He's not great, but he's good and he's super strong.
Aaron Gordon, we'll talk
And
about it.
then
Aaron Gordon. Say that nigga. We're
Jamal
gonna talk
Murray
about
is
it now.
whatever. He's probably about average, but he's not a terrible guard. So their whole
Aaron
entire
Gordon
thing
saved them.
is hide him. Let's find ways
Before
to hide
Aaron Gordon got there, dog, Jokic was by himself over there. Aaron
Right.
Gordon does so much dirty work for Jokic, dog. We don't talk about dog. He
But
does
him,
all the dirty work for
when
Jokic, dog.
KCP came over there. Who else? Bruce Brown, when he was over there for a little bit, they was doing all the dirty work.
I said this, so we can get out of here after this. I said this. You drop Jokic, you take because yeah, I keep saying this, and guys, basketball coming next season, it will be open sports. If you take SGA, you put them on the you so this is what you do. You swap out. You don't change nothing. All you do is swap out the positions. So we're gonna put Hartenstein on the Nuggets, take Jokic, and then put basic positions. So swap them out. Give me instead of Hartenstein, take Jokic, and then instead of Brown, you take I'm sorry, instead of Murray, you take SGA.
him.
Dog, if you literally swap the players, dog. Man, not even take hard time. Just swap the players. Just take them and literally trade them. So everything that they have already with the Nuggets is just without Jokic. Everything the Thunder have, you now add Jokic. Who's the better team?
Dude, they are ridiculous defensively. I mean,
Shit.
they'd be stupid.
So now you
They're
got
gonna
Hardenstein
hide
backing them
Jokic
up.
the best out of any. Well, you said
Now
take
you're
Hartenstein,
letting
but
you're
they
letting
still have
probably
Chet, dude.
probably Jay
Still have
Will
Chet,
runs
though.
the point. You still got Caruso. Now you letting Chet play next to Jokic.
They still have Chet. Yeah,
Chet
like
next
Man,
to
come
that
on,
is all
bro.
you need.
Come on, bro.
I'm not gonna lie.
Bro.
Like
that would be
Chet's a
great.
little. Chet's just weak.
That
But
team would
when
be
you're
so
talking about
unfair because
skill,
all the deficiencies that he has in defense, they make up for him.
but his strengths, he's one of the best drop defenders. Like legitimately, and playing drop is literally not
Because he
defense.
gets his hands in the
Playing,
lanes. Like he really
playing
gets his hands in the
drop,
lane. He got quick
playing
hands.
drop is basically. I mean, you have to
And
play
you can
drop for
guard. You
certain
can low key
guys,
guard 1 2 2.
but playing drop is it's not defense. Like you're putting your center in a bad position, but some centers are so immobile that they have to, so they just give the jumper. But with him, he actually plays. He's fast enough to get back and forth, so he actually can play it well. Which
And
I
Jokic
don't know
has
how
the
many centers
whistle.
can do that.
Defensively, Jokic has the whistle. And I mean it in this way. There are times where Jokic puts his body like he don't go directly up and he bodies people, but he's so respected that he don't get them calls a lot where like he foul low key. Like
Mhm.
they let him get the benefit of the doubt a lot of times when he fouling. Cause a lot of times he just uses his body low key, but they don't call that shit like that. So he has the whistle defensively to where they're not gonna foul him out. Like there's some niggas like they can't do nothing without getting a call on them. Like
Right.
I literally seen Jared Jackson come in the game and get a foul, get 3 fouls in fucking 2 quarters, and don't really do nothing bad. But a
Right.
guy
And
like
then
Jokic, they'll give benefit of doubt.
last thing on Jokic before we dip is Jokic number one. The reason why he's so good in the playoffs because there was a stretch in like 2 or 3 years ago where I swear for 2 years he didn't play a bad playoff game. Like he was averaging like 28 and like 12 like every single night. It was ridiculous, right? But the thing about that is he always makes the right decision. So I mean like sometimes they might lose the game, but he's always going to make the right decision. So more times than not, they're going to work out. To where Joel Embiid, he's more of an ISO player. He's more of a jump shot player. So in those final moments, he's looking for a shot, and if he has to pass out, he's not doing
Yeah,
it.
if he could pass, Joel Embiid can't pass at the post, but when he play Jokic, he cooks them. And it's time to finally say, yes, he had a great playoff run, but it's time to finally say Jamal Murray's mid. And I'm done with it.
He's been mid for a while. Ever since he tore his Achilles, he's been. I don't think he's been the same. Well.
I mean, sometimes he is a playoff riser, though, bro.
But dude, when I was watching him in the regular season, I'm like, bro, I like you. You're tough, but all you do is take contested jumpers, and it's like he's way better than this player. But it's like watching Mikal Bridges, because my dad would be like, Mikal's inconsistent. He can't like some days off 23, some days off 12, and I'm like, Dad, because all he does is take pull up jumpers. He can't get.
Yeah, he can't. Because when he that first year when he went to the Brooklyn Nets, that nigga was looking like a poor man's KD.
And the thing we don't give Jokic credit for is tough shot making. He's one of the best in the league. He may not be top 3, but he can make tough shots, especially against AD. AD was playing good defense on him. He was just making shots on him.
Yeah.
Well, all right, guys, that's another episode of Open Field Podcast. We appreciate you guys for showing up. Shout out to Marley for showing the super chats. Listen, if you're watching this, whether it's now or it's on recording when you go back to watch it, next Wednesday at 8 o'clock, we will be on playback watching film. Again, it's the Open Field Podcast on playback. I will send the alert in the community early in the season. Mike will handle that. It'll be a note letting you know where to go with the link. Open Field Playback. We will be watching film. This upcoming football season, there will be celebrity guests coming, ex-football guys, current football guys. We appreciate you guys for loving us. When you know you want to get your football, you know where to go. We will level this thing up going through the season. We appreciate you guys, and we are out this month.